Right, we're going onto the live screen now. There we go. We're now on the live screen. Everything should be up and running in a few seconds. Let me know if you can see it. Mags, you're really lagging for some reason. You're both lagging? Hang on.
You're gonna be rubbing it. Look, I've got a ghost.
You're alright now. As you can see, I'm on my Cass. As you can see, folks, the wheel has got an whole new look. What do you think of it, Andy?
I love it. I think it's bro.
I'm on the car. I'm Maureen.
Hi, Maureen. Is everybody okay? Right, tonight we're going to be talking about the Fae. We've got Max from Paranormal People and Andy from Elemental Encounters.
Hello.
Hello.
Obviously, Andy's going to be doing the majority of the talking tonight because Andy's the expert on the Fae.
I know nothing.
What's it made of?
Andy's channel is solely based on the Fae and Elementals. He doesn't do your conventional paranormal investigations with ghosts and spirits. He concentrates on solely the Fae. Hi, Julie. Hi, Claire.
Where's my Julie?
What was that, Max?
I know she's not in here with me. Sorry, we're just going to say my Julie. Julie.
Yeah, Julie's in. Julie is most definitely in. Hang on, I'm just going to shut this, what's it down? There we go, shutting a program down. Right, do you want to start now with the wheel, Andy? Do you want to start with the first one?
Go on then, let's see what we...
Hang on a minute then, I'll spin the wheel for the first time. Right, the wheel is spinning. Oh, this is an easy one for you to start with, Andy. Your first subject is leprechauns.
Leprechauns. Wow. Right. So, what I know about leprechauns, is that, well, obviously they're very, very Irish.
Yeah.
Mag should know this. From my sort of research, I've only ever spoken to what I think are 3 leprechauns.
Right.
And from my research, they are sort of, I don't know how this happens, but they're sort of water fae. They're more water fae than land.
Really?
A lot of old legends in Ireland suggest that they live somewhere underwater and they come from from under rivers and stuff like that.
A lot of bogland in Ireland, though.
Yeah.
And
They travel like caves and stuff like that, from underwater. It's very interesting. I mean, you would imagine that there would be more Earth-based, wouldn't you? Like with clover being attached to them and stuff like that.
Well, you'd have thought so.
But you'd have thought so. Yeah. I can't really tell you if the gold is a thing with them. The ones I spoke to didn't seem interested in that.
Right.
Yeah. And they're not necessarily, as far as I know, locked to Ireland. They can show up anywhere in the world. There's been reports of them here in the UK. Obviously, that's where I spoke to what said they were leprechauns.
Yeah.
There's been reports in America, I think it was only last year that there were reports on the show and the tree. Yeah. After a few days, it just disappeared. So, yeah, I don't think they're locked to. I mean, Ireland may be an origin point, but I think. There's another guy that I've researched a little bit, and they say that they are one of the highest level fae that you can get.
What, the leprechauns?
They're very close. Yeah, they're close to Devas.
I know what they are.
Yeah. Very closely related up in hierarchy, and they can sort of help others, like such as me and Becky that work with them. They can apparently douse you with something that helps your perception open to see the fae a lot more. So yeah, apparently that's what they can do. They can appear anywhere and nowhere and be in multiple places at one time. It's all very interesting. I mean, obviously what I've just
Yeah, the Skype's going funny for me as well for some reason.
It'll correct itself. Come out because it's.
Yeah, hang on a sec, Jason's ringing me. Can you just carry on a minute?
Yeah. I will.
Oh, Jay.
Obviously the legends that we had, it was rock of gold at the end of the rainbow,
Yeah.
and they travelled the rainbow, they had little staffs, and things like that. There was like anything we were told as kids, I don't know whether it was you who told me, or actually have a note going.
Yeah, I think it was me that was talking to you about that not long ago.
Yeah. I know about the audio. It's we're on Skype using it through is OBS.
Yeah, I think it ain't. I don't think it's actually
Just give it a
Skype. I think my computer's.
minute.
I think my computer's downloading a bloody Windows update at the same time.
Oh, you're joking?
Yeah, and that's what's causing the problems. I think it's actually the bloody.
Can you not pause it?
No, because with Windows 10, you've got no control over it at the moment.
Yeah, it just does it when it wants, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've got an update stood there from Windows 10 that won't update. It's saying I've got one, but for some reason it won't do it.
Yeah, and I think it's actually taking up a lot of me CPU and me bandwidth, so it's breaking up a little bit. So I do apologise for the I've just minimised the screen for a second, see if that improves the audio a bit. But I've popped it back up now.
Hopefully it might. Hopefully it won't take too long.
Well, what I might do is actually pop the chat out on YouTube and then just close. Actually, I can probably close YouTube's down, to be honest. That might help with a bit of bandwidth.
Yeah, it's really bad audio coming through now.
Right, I've closed
YouTube. Mine?
Yours is quite clear, Andy. I've closed YouTube down.
Mine's alright. Okay.
Yeah, I've closed YouTube, so that'll cut down a bit of the bandwidth because it's like doubling the transmit rate.
Yeah.
You know, you said leprechauns are more of a water-based spirit than anything else, or fae. Do you think that's why they're connected with rainbows? Do you think that's where the legends come from?
It could be, couldn't it? Because obviously a rainbow is like liquid in air, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that creates spectrum of colour through the sun. Yeah. It could be. There could be a connection to that. Definitely.
Thought out. Precious.
See, because I would have thought that leprechauns would have been more of an earth type element.
Me too.
Thing, you know,
Me too.
You know, because they're not the only water association they have actually got is with the rainbow, and that's with their gold in it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So I'm wondering if basically, you know, it is that.
Yeah, it could be. But I know there's a guy in Ireland at minute that has apparently found a small suit. And there's an art, involved and everything, and it's this like sort of cave, and he invites people to it, and he kind of puts the hat on the head at people, and if they feel a warm sensation, then he says that you can like communicate with leprechauns,
right.
You know, and he challenges anybody to go and take the challenge, and obviously I want to do it.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So it's a bit like the Hogwarts sorting hat then.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah. But this cave sort of runs. I mean, the smaller, very, very small chambers that run out from it, and they go under this lake. And he says they come from over there, and then he points out onto the lake on video, and it's like,
Oh, right. So he says they actually originate out of the lake.
Well, either under, like the caverns that go under the lake, or. But from the water end, and all that. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that about leprechauns. All I knew about leprechauns was basically they wore little green suits. They were associated with the Irish. They're supposed to have they're supposed to have influence in luck, and they had a little pot of gold at the end of a rainbow.
Sorry, I'm just lighting my cigarette. Just as I lit it, a lightning came down through the picture. Timing.
That's God telling you you're being a naughty girl,
mate.
mate.
Naughty. Oh, they're supposed to be a bit naughty as well, leprechauns.
Yes, they are a typical sort of Irish sort of temperament.
Oh yeah, I've got that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, you can't tell at all. You can't tell.
So, are they reputed to bring bad luck as well as good luck, Andy?
It's just luck, isn't it? That's what I read about them the other day. It's just luck. Whether it's good or bad, it's more dependent on yourself than they deal in luck. Is what I read the other day. But that could be wrong. I mean, I don't mind about what you found out.
Yeah, I did see it.
I would relatively say. Yeah, that's correct. Their big thing is that,
Mm. Yeah, that's what I was reading something the other day. I don't know whether it were in a book that I was reading or I think it were. And it's more just luck, but not, what you do with that luck or how that luck affects you is up to you and your choice. But they've just got luck.
Right.
Yeah.
Maureen Roundtree says, "How tall is the tallest leprechaun?"
Let me think. I can't. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. Um, I think they're depicted about, generally about. Excuse me. I would say about a foot to a foot and a half tall.
So they're not very big then.
Not very big.
But
No.
is that big? Is that big in general terms of the Fae?
No. No, that's quite average.
Usually about 18 inches.
Oh, hang on, we're losing the sound again for some reason.
You do the wheel again in a sec. When we finish doing the wheel,
Yeah, I'm just going to go in my task. Keep talking a sec. I'm just going to go in my task manager and see if there's anything I can switch off to stop this bloody WhatsApp.
didn't hear a word of that.
Yeah. Let me just close a few of these tasks in my what's it. Because this computer runs a shitload of stuff.
Right, Maureen says, Andy, so are they fairies or different to fairies?
As in general, flying sort of areas, yeah. But what people classify them is the Fae in like collective spell FAE. But yeah, the flying sort of Fae is a lot different.
No worries, Mama Cass, if you're tired, you're tired. Although I don't really see you sleeping, Mandy. Yeah, I always wonder with that with the size, because I don't know why, and maybe it's the, the film about elves, like Orlando Bloom being so...
No.
No, do you know what I mean? You do
Yeah.
that kind of way, don't you? When you
Well, you might, but I don't.
can't tired. It is kind of weird, isn't it? Well, when you think of them as smaller, it doesn't kind of have the same ring to it.
Yeah.
Right, I don't know if that's going to make any...
Apparently wearing it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to make any difference. I've just switched to
Say
CPU prior. I don't know if that's going to make any difference. I've just switched to CPU priority to make this maximum. So we'll just have to... I've just
really bad.
my CPU's running...
Yeah,
my CPU's running at 100%. So that basically means something in the background is majorly causing...
Can you not go on there and stop? Can you not, when you task manager and stop the update?
You can't see it.
Can you not do it that way?
It don't show you on the tasks, because that's what I used to do with the old Windows. You used to be able to do that. But what I'd need to do is reshut my computer down and restart it from scratch, and it'd mean closing the stream down and restarting it.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not going to take too long.
No.
God, what a pain in the back.
It does this every time there's a Windows update coming. It does this. It runs in the background, but it actually takes over all your CPU.
Yeah, I've got mine set to start to do at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, well, with my Windows 10, you got no choice. They just come when they come.
Mine's Windows 10, but you can still do it. You've just got to go in.
It does your update at that time of the morning, but it does the download in the background.
Right.
And because I've got a lot of stuff running on here, it tends to take over stuff. Good night, Mama. Right, shall I spin the wheel for the next one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good night, Mama Cass. Sleep well, love.
Right, here we go. The wheel is spinning. Next category is fairies.
Oh.
So there you go, Andy.
Oh, this is a big topic.
Okay.
This is a big topic. Right, so, fairies, not, first thing to start with, not what everybody perceives them to be. They're not all Tinkerbell and, stuff like that. Very much not. I've only ever caught one at the corner of my eye, and what I can tell you is that the one I saw was very, very small, but very spindly. It had really long limbs, really long, like sort of fingers and stuff. But
So they're not pretty women in ball gowns with gossamer wings, then?
No, not at all. Apparently, I mean, if you can see one full on, they do look more like sticks, like twigs.
Right.
Yeah. Now, I've got kind of one on photograph that did look a little bit more pretty, but apparently there's many different types. You've got your flower fairies, your tree fairies, which I would assume the tree ones are like the stick ones, There's fairies that assigned to many different plants,
right?
Stuff like that.
What about air? Is there any specifically? Sorry, I know I'm just interrupted, but as you were saying then, with the tree one, what about air? I'm just wondering because of the wings and things like that. I would just,
Well, that would be more your elemental sylph.
Right. Don't do that yet. I'll get shafted.
I don't know whether he actually put sylph in the categories or not. Did you put sylph? You didn't, did you?
No.
Now talk about sylphs then.
You got an elemental category though, haven't you?
Yes.
So,
yeah. I'll don't mention them then if they're mixing class in them.
Yeah, we'll just plug them into that one.
Right. Okay.
The thing I can tell you with fairies though, usually what we found is, and I know this one's going to rattle mags a little bit, but they do show up on camera as more orb-like.
Not just me. Don't just single me out.
If you really want to annoy Randy, tell her they turn up in UFOs and abduct people.
Hey.
Well, some people believe they are fairies, don't they? So
yeah.
we've got a bit of
Dimensional. I'll go with dimensional beings. Let's go with that one.
So,
yes,
are fairies based in one particular element, or are they all four?
They will be all four.
So you can have air, water, fire, and earth.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they'll work. They work on all four at any given time. But like sort of going back to the orb thing, if you see them on a camera screen, they're the only ones that will fly. That's kind of, people see them as little sparkles or an orb. I'm going to say orb because that's how we know them, isn't it? But the ones that flash, that pulsate,
right,
and can do sort of interaction.
Yeah.
If you ask to do a spiral twist and they'll do it. I've had that in my living room.
Right.
I've said, can you come and show up and do a mad movement, and one will like do a spiral twist in air and then just dissipate, gone, bang. And it's like wow, that were amazing, But we find them the shyest out of them all.
What, the fairies?
Yes. To other people, it's always that they are like sort of the main ones that you'll interact with, but for us, very, very rare. Very rare indeed.
So why do you think fairies are the most well-known amongst them all, Andy, if they're the shyest?
Well, apparently written, the elves are the shyest, right, but we've always done really well with them and not the fairies themselves.
Yeah.
I suppose it can just be who they're dealing with,
Right.
What about looking at it from another point of view? Maybe because they became so well known because they had interactions that I'm going to say expose them to the public in a way. Maybe they might have got a rap on the wrist by somebody and they had to pull back a bit, and maybe that's why they're more shy now.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. Like I said, I entered that many dealings personally with them. My major one that we had, it was via spirit box. Because we sort of, when we're doing a little ritual, we'll go to the back door, open it, ring a bell, because apparently it gets their attention. Invite them in for a chat, and this particular night we got one in that said it were out hunting barley.
Right.
So we were like, that's cool. So she said her name, and then I caught a photograph with this like misty figure that looked like a fairy with wings, holding like a big stick, and it looked like it were about to eat Chloe in face. Right. And then on the spirit box, it was I'm attacking it.
Right, let me just read some to your Andy that Maureen's.
That was good. That I've
She's
just read
put,
that.
When I was only about 5 years old, I saw a fairy in my bedroom. They took my hand and came downstairs with me where my mum was. I said, "Here is Tinkerbell, Mum," and looked down. She had disappeared. Would be about 18 inches tall. Does that sound about right for a fairy?
It could be. The Tinkerbell thing really weirds me out. It always does. But a friend of mine said she saw something very similar when she was young. She got the old lights flickering in the kitchen kind of thing, and she could see something in a garden about that sort of size. But she got a photograph on it apparently, but she can't find it. I've been trying to get her to, I need to see this photograph. And she told it to go away, and she ran upstairs, and it followed her into her bedroom and do a doing light thing up there as well. So they do tend to appear to children more. That is a key element with fairies.
And can they change their appearance? Could they look like what a child would expect a fairy to look like?
They will definitely project a more pleasant sort of image of themselves. Definitely.
Can you remember, Andy, a while ago I sent you pictures? They were from Julie. Ruby Jules.
Yeah.
Jules, yeah. And the lights in the tree. Well, she's had them again.
Oh, okay.
She's had them a few times. She's had pictures before. And do you know, I hope she could, I don't know whether she's still in chat or not, but she might have had to go and pick up grandchild. But they did say what kind of tree it was. And it's not a tree that I know.
Okay.
So I don't know whether, it's probably not just like a bog standard tree, so I don't know whether it's a tree local to here in California.
Yeah.
No.
Can you remember what it was?
It's only a small tree.
Can you remember what the name was?
Oh yeah, I can't. Bear with me 1 second, it's in that chat. But I might have to go back to you talking and I'll see if I can
Julie's
find
still
it.
there. What tree was it, Julie?
While she's writing, Joanne said, oh, there you go.
Oh, myrtle.
Myrtle.
Ah.
And they were higher up in the trees this time. They were right in the middle like last time, and they were at the top this time. And because I know how sceptical I can be with a lot of stuff. So like I've seen it during the day, the tree. She's been out during the day and filmed it when I've been there and that, obviously, video chatting. And I couldn't see anything that would cause a reflection. And I went through all the insects that are native to our area in California. And I couldn't, they weren't like fireflies or anything, glowing wands or anything like that. So it's interesting on that alone that I, couldn't see. There was no like bits of things stuck in the tree or anything like that when she showed me, and there was nothing that I would have thought that could affect it, because it's actually got all the trees around it, if you will, at the sides.
Is it always that one specific tree?
Yeah, the same tree.
Well, I've just had a quick look at tree, and Do you know what the tree's nickname is?
Well,
The White Fairy.
is it?
Yep.
Oh, there you
That's
go.
interesting.
It is.
That's the actual legit nickname of the tree.
Wow. That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, very cool.
There you go, Julie.
Yeah, keep an eye out then, Julie. She's only catching them on her security camera, you know.
Okay.
It's a night view, but she did one day. She watched, and the Ralph was going out to work, and it was still dark, and she watched him go out, and as soon as he walked out the door, the lights disappeared. You know, she was just like walking back past to see, you know, what you get it.
I've just spun. Hang on, you're breaking up. I've just spun the wheel for the next category, so we can get onto that in a minute.
Oh, it's just running that. Yeah, so I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know why it's going.
Yeah, I mean we've experienced little light ball in trees as well, haven't we, Bex? But yeah, I can definitely confirm it happens.
You can see in a tree though. Sometimes it looks like the train. It's like a group of them, you know.
Yeah.
And that's how fairies hang.
Yeah, ours were a massive group. We saw.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get too close to them though, because it looked like they were busy, you know, because they were moving around it. Don't know what they were up to.
Well, there you go. Joanne just said, because we saw before we asked the best investigation thing, Joanne said, what's the difference between a white fairy and a blue fairy?
Blue is usually a resignation of colour depending on what they're working on. So, difference between white and blue, just whatever they're doing. I mean, blue usually will be some sort of flower, you know, blue flowers, blue bells, stuff like that. White, again, white sort of flower. They resonate well with what colour, you know, they're working with in nature.
Well, that's cool. I like that idea.
So they do they tend to be like flower gardeners, tenders of the flowers and stuff?
Yeah, most of them. Yeah.
So they basically camouflage themselves for whatever flower they're in charge of?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
I wish I could do that. I'd like to be a chameleon.
Yeah. Special Forces fairies.
Then going to be okay.
Right, is there any other important points you want to cover on fairies, Andy?
No, I think that's good.
Okay, next category then is your best investigation regarding the Fae.
Oh, wow. Best investigation. To be honest, I would say my best, and it's not generally for activity but for communication, was an abandoned house that we once visited, and it ended up being an house brownie that we started talking to.
Right.
The first time he ever stated, or we'd ever got brownie through a spirit box.
Yeah.
And I were at this house last night, believe it or not, as a second sort of, you know, like part of the video. Yeah, follow up. So when we were in as general sort of ghost hunting team or Soul Reaper Paranormal, we visited this house and we were getting this mad K2 activity. And I'm one of them type of people. I'll make sure my phone's switched off, and I go by the book. I try and do it all properly. This building's absolutely void of power. There's no one in there, and I was stood up staircase, you know, just waving it about, and it started maxing, you know, thoroughly maxing, and I'm like, "Do you want me to come downstairs?" And it shut off, and then like went off again. So I followed it downstairs, and I ended up with two K2s in either of these armchairs. And as I was talking, they'd go off in sync, because I mean they were about 2 meters apart. And I'm like, what's going on here? So we thought we were talking to the owners of the house who passed away 12 years ago, and we were like, oh, is it Anne and Simon? Yeah, because we knew owners' names, and we thought, oh, this is brilliant. Anyway, fast forward 2 years, me and Becky and Chloe decided to go back to this house and see what happens while we're working with it, and we got running on Spirit Box again. K2s were absolutely fantastic. We got running on Spirit Box. I said, "Can you tell me what you are then?" And it said Brownie, and then instantly another Brownie come up like a really excited, And I was like, "Whoa!" We've got it. It's there. And I'm like, "So were you pretending to be Anne and Simon?" And he confirmed, "Yes, it was pretending."
Yeah.
And then it said that a fairy lives there with it to keep it company. So these were acting out the roles of the old people that live there. And I was like, this is absolutely amazing. But like I say, I did do a little follow-up yesterday, and he's still there, still as chatty as ever. And I hold it dear to my heart, that one, because it was so forthcoming,
So why is he staying in I presume it's a disused house?
Yeah, it's because they're attached to the property rather than the people.
Right, okay.
So, that's... like last night, little spoiler, I asked that question, I was like, would you like to leave the house? And he said, my house.
Oh,
that's nice.
Okay, that's fair.
Hi, Stephen.
So what would happen if that house was ever demolished? I presume he'd find somewhere else.
Yeah, apparently they do vacate and try and find another empty property if they can find one. As close by as possible.
Oh.
So they do tend to remain within an area?
Yes.
What was it you said? Migrated, but don't tell me the ins and outs if it's something else that he's got on there.
Gnomes.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Have you got gnomes?
We should have.
We have, yes.
Well, don't tell me anymore then.
We've got pretty much everything on this wheel, Mags, believe me. Right.
Which is going to make... Actually, that's going to make sense on my gnome thing that I'm going to tell you in a bit.
Right.
Okay.
Do you want to move on to the next Fae then, Andy?
Yeah.
Hang on a sec, let me just
Yeah,
flick it
we're
on.
ready.
Right, I'm just about to spin again. This is where the bugger always doubles up after a couple of categories. Pixies. So you've got
Pixies.
You got pixies now.
Another interesting one. Right, I cannot confirm that pixies are a real species of fae. From obviously because of the Cornwall connection, they were really prominent down south of England. From what I'm suspecting is that there was a lot of confusion with elves with pixies.
Yeah.
Elves and maybe gnomes, because some are depicted with that conical hat,
Yeah.
clad in green, stuff like that. But then also there's an extra shoe off at fae called Greenies, which are very, very closely sort of depicted as pixies.
Right.
And Greenies apparently can sort of develop into fairies, if you will. They can develop wings.
Right. So what do they
But
start off as then?
What green is?
Yeah. What are they an offshoot of? Elves.
Yes.
And then they turn into fairies.
Apparently so. But what they've got to do, they've got to complete so many tasks. But if they grant you a wish, apparently they'll lose their wings and they've got to start all over again. So it's summer. I mean, we have got Greenies fruit spirit box before.
That seems a bit harsh.
Yeah, it does. It is something I would never,
But I mean, I suppose it's kind of one of those things, isn't it? It shows their devotion, and it shows that they're not going to get it wrong if they have to do that. It's going to be something that they really, really, really think needs help with if they're going to do that.
Yeah. Obviously, I'd never put that to test. I'd feel bad doing it, you know. But what I can tell you about the greenies themselves is chocolate sends them absolutely wappy. It sends them wappy. They go absolutely mad for it, but it apparently gives them uncontrollable hiccups.
Right.
Yeah. The two we were dealing with, there were two sisters, and every single like hiccups, chocolate. Oh, it was just coming out of a box. You know, they were like, "This is mad. What's going on here?"
Well, that'd be a cheap high, wouldn't it? Eh?
Yeah. It must be like some sort of drug to them. I don't know.
Get me a galaxy. I had one yesterday. I want another.
Well, if you think about it, chocolate comes from the cocoa bean, doesn't it? And apparently it does contain traces of cocaine, doesn't it?
Yep.
So I suppose it could be that. You know, the little, you know, drug addicts, basically.
Running around woodlands off their ends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So other things that we know is that they are very mischievous, and they like to get you on your own, right?
Right.
So they can lead. It's called being pixie led. So they'll kind of glamour you a little bit.
Yeah.
Walk you off into woodland as far away as they can get you from your starting point, and then bring you out on it, and you're like, oh shit, we're on a. It's like put you into a little trance.
Do you think that could be something like sleepwalking kind of thing? Do you think it could be related in any way, shape, or form?
No,
you know, when people wander outside and they wake up and like, how the woman next did I get here?
So what's the motivation for them doing that, Andy? What do they get out of it? Is it just a kick?
Yeah.
Just find it funny.
Yeah, just to laugh at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Chloe, his ex-teammate, she were absolutely frightened to death that it went to happen to her.
So basically, you could have like 3 or 4 people in a wood, and they could lead people off in different directions, and they'd suddenly come around, and they wouldn't be with the friends anymore. They'd all be in different parts of a wood.
If they so wished, yeah.
Jesus.
You see, that makes me wonder if it is related to, like, you know, the sleepwalking.
Yeah.
I wonder if they've got an influence there.
Could have.
Because I mean, I've seen loads of things on sleepwalking where they've woke up in strange places and been like, whoa.
Yeah. But there's a really famous story. Can you remember the story of Green Children?
Not sure what to be honest.
Don't ring a bell with me.
Oh, yeah. Have you never heard of it? Right, so basically, I can't remember the year for definite, but there's a true account of 2 small green children that once got found. I think it was somewhere in Scotland.
You mean green in colour?
Yes, the skin were absolutely full green.
Oh.
And upon asked, you know, where they come from and stuff like that, they said that they'd come from underground, and they could become really ill really quick. They couldn't tolerate any food.
Oh, I have heard this story, but go on, yeah.
Yeah. And there were a boy and a girl, they were brother and sister, and the boy died. They couldn't get him right. And the girl apparently got this grain. She told him to get this certain sort of grain. She fed on that, and she thrived. But her skin apparently turned to our colour. You know, after years, and she led a full life. But both their gravestones have got the green children right on them.
Right.
So I always wondered if they were a form of greenie. You know.
So what do you think the connection is with grain, Andy? Because you said you mentioned grain earlier when you said something was barley.
Yeah, when fairies were out hunting barley. Yeah. I think it's just because they don't understand meat. You know, how we eat meat and stuff like that. They really don't understand it. It's just killing to them, isn't it? You know. They live off. They're big form of meat is mushroom. They call it mush meat.
I could never be a Fae then.
I think that's where a lot of connection with mushroom comes in.
Comes from.
Yeah.
So
So
I
obviously,
presume the Fae cultivate mushrooms for food.
I would imagine so. Yeah,
Yeah, Mama, they're vegans.
definitely vegan.
So what do you think about us eating meat, though?
I think they understand we do it because of what we are and we're built and stuff like that, but they don't understand.
Yeah, but
Why
if
would
you
that
think about it, there's foxes and wolves and all sorts in woods, so that you know, they're going to understand that there's carnivores and omnivores. I can't see why they should judge us any different.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, they kind of. I have had confirmation that they like the fact that a person would go vegan or vegetarian because you're consuming plant energy and plants resonate in your body then closer to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I once asked them if they'd like us to do it again, and I think I got reply about what, try it for a month.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, why not?
See, I don't think I could ever become vegan because I don't like a lot of vegetables and.
My cat became a
But
vegan.
there again,
today.
I'm not a big meat eater either.
No, I'm not a big meat eater, but I do love my vegetables.
But I like my dairy and stuff, so I don't think I could ever become a vegan.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do it. My cat, I was sat here and I was watching something on YouTube, and I had a McDonald's for my tea, and I had the fries just sat next to me knee. I was sat up like it, and I was eating these, and then the next minute the cat pounced on my box of bloody fries, took about 6 out with a mouthful, and legged off and ate them. Ate my McDonald's fries.
But that's it though.
Anything other than meat.
You've just mentioned dairy, Brett. They do like dairy as well, so obviously they're not that strict.
They're not true vegans. They like dairy.
Vegetarian.
They're more vegetarian than vegan.
The more veggie, definitely, yeah. Because dairy is a big thing.
Yeah, I couldn't live without my dairy.
No, you see, I couldn't live without my dairy. I'm not a big meat eater, but I do like my vegetables. The only vegetable I don't really like is cauliflower.
Yeah.
But I can eat all the others, really.
See, I like things like peas and beans and carrots, but nothing else. So
no, I can eat most. Parsnips are just too sweet. I mean, it's like having a dessert on your dinner plate. It's just not nice.
Right, we're getting off topic here. Shall we move on to the next one?
Yeah,
is there anything else you'd like to say about Pixies, Andy?
No, that's good.
Right, hang on a minute. Let me.
But I still don't like them.
Right, we're spinning again. Let's see what we get this time. Right, Andy. This time we've got hobgoblins. Now, before we start, what is the difference between a goblin and a hobgoblin?
Right, an hobgoblin basically is it's not in the same category as a brownie, but they do similar chores as brownies. So they're known for being like around the hearth.
This is hobgoblins.
Yes.
Right.
But a normal goblin, they'll just cause ruckuses anywhere. You can find them anywhere. So they'll be in woodlands. You know, they'll infest houses. They'll go to businesses and infest them. They're your true sort of the normal goblins. The true infestation at FAE't that will just cause so much mayhem. But your hobgoblin, they're a little bit more placid.
Right.
You can work with them. Very, very rare that you find one. But apparently, if you can connect with one, you've got to let it sort of connect with you.
Right.
And it can change your moods and everything. But if we'll go down the sort of more Wiccan route here, but a witch can use an hobgoblin as a karma bringer.
Right.
So it will go and do tasks for you on other people.
Is that good and bad?
That can be good and bad. Yeah,
Right.
it's
Okay.
completely neutral and it does not care.
Is that kind of a running thing with the fair? Like the neutral thing said about the look with the leprechauns, you know?
Yes, you will find that the Fae, unlike us, are more like ultimately balanced between the good and the bad.
Makes sense, kind of, really, because they're more balanced
Yeah.
creatures, really.
Right, Mama.
Yeah, yeah.
We have got brownies on the wheel, so don't worry. Joanne said, so hobgoblins are not evil like stories say.
It depends what you're using one for. Doesn't it?
I think the only hobgoblin I can think is Puck in Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Midsummer. I think that's kind of the only hobgoblin I can think of that.
Yeah, they're much more rare, especially in folklore as well, because it takes a lot to find one. You know, it can take apparently there's a ritual to invite one. I'm yet to try it.
So English literature.
Basically, goblins are more chaotic based. Hobgoblins are more
Yes.
neutral based.
Yes.
Right. Do they look? Do they look similar? Is there an appearance difference as well?
Yeah, very muchly different. A little bit more humanoid looking in light skin tone. They're still got the classic big nose in depiction, but wearing like sort of raggedy clothing, you know, really long hair, raggedy clothing, you know, all that kind of thing. Whereas goblins will tend to be naked or they wear like it's really strange, it's like a one-piece black suit.
They sound creepy.
Yeah, goblins are very strange.
Right, has anybody else got any questions they want to ask Andy about hobgoblins? It's alright, we have to wait a bit for the stream to catch up. Is there anything you want to ask, Max?
That depiction of a hobgoblin makes... I don't know whether you've ever read A Midsummer by Shakespeare, but it actually, being a bit more humanoid, makes sense with the character Puck than a goblin. I read about goblins, and they don't seem as, nice. I mean, Puck wasn't perfect, but, Yeah.
Right, Claire
says... It kind of makes more sense.
Claire says, in Labyrinth, is that a hobgoblin? I can't remember, it's been that long since I've watched Labyrinth.
Which character? If you're thinking of Hoggle, I think he was just a dwarf.
Okay. Joanne B says, if you didn't invoke one, Andy, would Tommy or Stuart be offended?
Probably not. As our mission set by Tommy was to connect with as many different races of Fairies as humanly possible. So I think it would be, quite respected if we could, get a hold of one and work with it.
Mama says, to me it sounds like there may be Fae all around us. Would you say that's a correct statement?
I would say that's very correct.
Okay. Stephen says, what about the goblins in Harry Potter? Are they more based on the fictional beliefs of people?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
So not a hobgoblin, just a goblin.
Right, Claire wants to know if the hobgoblin you summon is going to steal your children.
I think that never happens.
That's just wishful thinking on Claire's part, Andy. Just don't. She was going to ask next, and do you have the ritual to do that?
Do I have to break the feathers out again? Oh dear.
Yeah, but Dobby was an house elf, Joanne. He weren't a goblin or an hobgoblin. He was an house elf, apparently.
Yeah, Dobby is in English. Well, we'll get on to that. We'll get to the Brownies.
Right, okay. Right, do you want to move on to the next category then, Andy?
Yeah.
Hang on a sec then.
Yes. same size as him or even bigger.
Right.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. The next category, Andy, is elementals.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Right. So your elementals, right? I have spoke about this frequently, but they are not a part of the Fae except for one certain elemental, and that'll be a gnome.
Right.
The gnome has got a foot in both the elemental energy and the Fae earth-bound energy.
Right.
'Cause they work on the minerals of the earth and stuff like that. You know, they're the ones that feed the earth, if you will.
Yeah.
They work on everything: trees, plants, you know, all the soils, the rocks, stones, crystals, everything.
Right.
Whereas your sort of air elemental, which is a sylph, that is portrayed a little bit more fairy-esque, but
Right.
obviously they're in the air. The work on cloud, you know, sky, atmosphere, all that.
Yeah.
Then you've got your fire elemental, which is a salamander,
Yeah.
which is portrayed more dragon-like. Obviously, I think that's where your portrayal of dragons come from. Then obviously you've got your water as well, which is undines. They're a bit more mermaidish looking. They all work on the certain elements, but they also work on elements that are inside us as humans as well. So apparently we've all got these things assigned to us.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are the main distinguishing differences between a Fae and an elemental?
So that again, sorry.
What are the main differences that distinguish an elemental from a Fae? What makes an elemental compared to it being something else being classified as a Fae?
I think it's just purely down to the fact that they are bound to just that element.
Right.
Whereas, you know, like the Fae themselves are like more interactive on other issues.
Yeah.
The elementals, apart from gnomes, which will, like I said, we're having a foot in each side,
Yeah.
can cross over and do other stuff. So like I can get a gnome to come here,
Yeah.
which we do work with a certain one, and he'll do little things and talk to us about issues. But I personally can't get any other three to come and communicate via a box or via a piece of equipment. They're not interested. They'll just not do it. You know, I don't think they even work on language, from my findings anyway. I think you can do it via feeling, you know, because like I was saying to Mags one day, I've been doing a little bit of cloud divination, asking for shapes to form in cloud, which I would assume would be self-in form.
Yeah.
And my birth sign is an air element anyway, so I'm wondering if that's why there's sort of a connection that I can like sort of want that to happen, and it would.
So if you got a fire elemental in your house, and you did something to offend it or upset it, could it technically set fire to your house?
I don't think you can upset. This is thing, because not being able to work with them as in a communicative base.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can upset them, because I think apparently the ones that are assigned to us, we upset on a daily basis. So like,
right, okay.
Yeah, if you know, like me being a smoker, it'll be affecting my personal air self that helps me breathe.
So they kind of just are, they're there to maybe guide, but not to interfere, kind of thing.
But yeah, not to interfere. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Can I ask you something? And it comes from a legend, so I'm always interested in it. You know, the legend of the Lady of the Lake.
Yeah.
Avalon and all that. Do you think she was fae? If the story, the legend's true, do you think she was Fae or more of a goddess type person? Or an elemental even?
But wasn't the island of Avalon supposed to be inhabited by the Fae anyway?
Well, yeah, but does he think that it was? Because she, from what you read about the Lady of the Lake, to me she appears more goddess-like than Fae-like.
See, no, I think the opposite.
Do you?
Yeah, I think she was more of a water spirit.
But I'm just wondering if she was somewhere in between and more of an elemental, because, you know, you were saying he hasn't really had that much contact. So I was wondering if it was something more in the middle and more of an elemental, you know, rather than either a goddess or a fae.
Yeah. In respect to sort of goddess term, though, we got instructed. Well, they took piss out of us one day for, you know, when we first started with Wiccan stuff.
Night, Julie. Just sorry, Andy. Night, Julie.
Yeah, it's alright.
Okay, darling.
Good night, Julie. But yeah, we used to do the old calling in of the gods and the goddesses and stuff, and we were doing the rituals, and we did a spirit box one night, and they were like, gods and goddesses, what are you doing? You know, like, what do you mean what we're doing? And then we quickly learned that we should be calling them guardians.
See, now when I was taught my rituals, it was never they were always called the guardians of the watchtowers of the east, north, south, and west.
Yes.
They were
It's
never
very
referred,
shamanic, isn't it? That's very
they were
shaman-like.
never referred to as goddesses in the way I learned it.
Yeah.
They were
And I
always
didn't
guardians of the watchtowers.
Yeah, and I didn't have a clue about that, and they said refer to them as guardians. And,
Yeah.
and we were like, oh, okay. So we did. We altered it as grimoires to guardians and stuff like that. And I like, and then we got reading a little article about there's apparently seven guardians, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my god, this is really strange.
Weird.
Does the seven-pointed star reference the seven guardians? Is that what it represents?
It depends. There's a few different depictions of 7 point. There's one about how you should live by sort of these 7 guides, if you will, of life.
Yeah.
There's one for moon phases and astral stuff.
Yeah.
As far as I know. I think there's 3 different ones. I can't remember for life my third one. But we usually tend to live by the guide of life one.
Yeah.
Which is like, you know, it's got all your elements on it, but then there's like the moon, the forest, the magic, you know, the honesty, stuff like that. But there could be something to do with it. There could be something more ancient and secret to do with that.
Because the pentagram represents the 5 elements. And a lot of people say there's only 4, but there ain't. The 5th one is actually represented by the top point, which is spirit.
Yes,
which is the 5th element. But a lot of people don't seem to realise that. And I just wondered if the 7-pointed one represented the 7 guardians of what you consider the Fae following.
It very much could.
See, so interesting. See, this is why I actually love this subject. And as much as, like, I've struggled with a lot, and I don't deny this, and Andy will tell you, you know, like, we've been talking a long while, and he'll tell you, as much as I've struggled with the concept of belief for a long while, it doesn't mean that I don't find it truly interesting and inspiring in a lot of ways, because of the way you see, I prefer neutral. I'm always worried about somebody giving me something for nothing. so to me, to be neutral and to make it of ourselves is a great thing. And that is kind of a running thing with Fae, isn't it? It's like, we're here to help you, but you must make your own way. Yeah. You know, and I kind of like that look on it. And, you know, I said the other night, I said I have struggled with it, but I'm more of a believer than I'm not a believer now, more than any part of my life. I kind of think, yes, they're real. But whereas you only, like, adhere to the Fae, elementals, you know, I kind of think that both are still relevant to me. Whether, you know, the spirits of humans and, you know, I don't think one outweighs the other. But as me and you have spoken, as me and Brett have spoke, I'm still on my journey, but I don't think the journey ever ends, to be honest with you.
No.
I'm still on the bus, and I can't see myself ringing the bell anytime soon, because I don't think in either human spirits or the Fae or elementals that we're ever really going to have all the answers.
Yeah.
That freak a lot of people out, but I'm actually good with that, because I actually like the questions, so, I'm kind of good with that. But I am more of a believer now than I've ever been,
Yeah.
and, especially with the things that I've been getting, but again, I'll tell you at the end.
Right. Okay, shall we move on to the next one then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hang on then. Just gotta wait for it to pop up. We're gonna at some point soon, Andy, we're gonna get a duplication. I'll guarantee you.
No, that went a bit breaky up
Right.
there.
Next subject is gnomes.
Ooh. Max's favourite little jelly babies.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you now, when you've done your bit on this, I'm going to tell you my story, because it's apt to this part.
Okay. Yeah, so as we discussed with elementals, gnomes have got a foot in each sort of the Fae realm and the elemental realm. Right, so gnomes are the ones that are very, very much the cliche to the ornament garden gnome. They look exactly like them. I can't even describe how similar. I've got a pot gnome that's holding its belly, like kind of doing a little laugh, and he looks exactly like the one that visits us. It's amazing. Although he says he's a little bit bigger than the pot statue.
Yeah, you can't deny him his height, love. You just
That's it. I'm not heightist at all. But yeah, very, very, very friendly beings. They are. They're a pleasure to deal with to some degree. I find them one of the most intriguing. Because thing is, with a gnome, they do not lie. They have got no concept of lying. So if you want to know something and you're in contact with one, just ask them, and they'll just tell you out straight.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. They can't hold their own water either. They've just got to blurt it. They've just got to blurt it out,
Can I just say that is literally me and all my children.
So basically, gnomes can't lie and can't keep a secret.
Yeah.
To me, that's just literally our family, because we couldn't give a shit about lying. If you don't lie, because we really don't care.
Yeah.
And we literally have no filter. It just comes out.
Yeah.
So, but again, if they're running around me, there's a reason for it, I think.
Yeah, they're really cool. They're very keen to work with people if you gain the trust quickly, and a little key to that is to just litter pick, clean rubbish up in a local area such as a park or any local woodlands, and they'll take notice very quickly.
Wow, cool.
So do you think gnomes are the most approachable of all the Fae?
Yeah, definitely.
They're the ones that are going to be more liable to appear to somebody.
Yeah, I would say so. But it took me a while to get in contact with them. I think because where our path took, the elves were the most. We got them due to the fact that they're apparently the shyest, and connecting with them got us in touch with rest. Because word spreads, they talk about you. A lot of them seem to know. Yeah, a lot of them seem to know you just before you arrive. It's really strange. But what we do know about gnomes is they absolutely love receiving gifts of copper. They love it.
Why?
So
Gifts of what?
copper.
Why copper though, Andy? Ever explained it?
They've not explained it, but it's we found it out right quick, and sort of, it has been written about with other researchers as well that they adore it. But semi-precious metals anyway are all quite good for them.
Yeah.
'Cause they hoard treasure. They love it's all awesome to them.
Are,
Like,
the-
like
are
dragons,
the gnomes like that? You know, like they're in a lot of the folk tales. They're very mechanically minded, like tinkers. Are gnomes like that?
In some respect, they're like building, but the tinkers are more the leprechauns.
Oh right.
They're more fiddlers, and apparently, again, we're going back to Leprechaun here, but you can get them to mess with electronics if you've got faulted electronics, and they like to get into it. Yeah. Because we do know one called Tinker.
Mm-hmm.
That's his name. You know. Yeah. But yeah, gnomes they like to build. You know. Apparently, they like watching what we build, and they try and build their own versions of.
Right.
So you're like an old lady with a shopping trolley.
Yeah.
You know, if a gnome saw it and took an interest, he'd build one, but you get like one massive wheel, one small wheel, and it'd be very rickety. You know, they're like sort of copying, if you would.
But not very
in other words, they're
successfully.
like rock traders.
Yeah.
Sounds about right in my house. So many unfinished projects.
So, are they the greatest in number, Andy? The gnomes? Are there like more of them than the other types?
There is large families, but no, I think it's all quite equal in largeness, apart from sort of like your sort of brownies and your hobgoblins and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Coming to you at once, they're like second sort of largest that'll come in a group.
Right.
Because when we first ever got on coming to house, it was like an elder one.
Yeah.
That fetched a load of children gnomes with it, and we could hear them, and you could hear them running across the ceiling and rolling about, and we were trying to watch a program like it paused, and I was like, what's going off? You know,
Yeah.
I was like, what's creating all this racket? And we put Rem Bear out, and we were watching TV, and we kept seeing these little shadow figures running down outside the settee, and Rem Bear with an alarm when one would go near it, and then another one would jump up top of the settee and dive. When we started playing hide and seek and wrestling, you know. But on the spirit box, the elder gnome said he fetched the young ones for schooling. And I found that rather interesting. I thought, so why are they must be schooling them on us?
So basically, they were teaching them about humans.
Yes.
That's interesting. I think Maggie's dying to tell a story as pulling that face.
I know.
I was actually reading Maureen's comment at the time. Get one of those cameras that let your mobile know if you have an intruder. Do you know, not need like sensitive like stuff to do, but you know, it has to be part of a kit, doesn't it? You know, like those where you cross the beam and all that.
Well, you can get those hunting cameras that they strap to trees. I presume that'd work.
Maybe that's what she means.
They got motion sensors on them.
Yeah, maybe that's what
See
she means.
that little GoPro that I've converted to a night camera. That's got motion detection on it. So basically, I could stick that in my hall if trying to catch that thing upstairs, leave it running all night, and it'll only actually record if it detects any motion.
Very good.
Right, come on then, tell everybody your gnome story.
No, it's not just my gnome story, it's an update, and Andy doesn't know this. You're the only one who actually knows this Brexit.
I'm excited. Come on, tell us.
Right, well, you know how I've had them, like, and it's about 6 months ago, and I've not seen hide nor hair of them since then.
Yeah.
When there was like a group of, I don't know, it was more than 10, and they came crawling across my floor.
Yeah.
Freaked me out a bit, and I don't shout. I'm used to weird stuff in my house, so I don't shout or scream. And I just said, like, you know, like, you are like freaking me a little bit. You know, you need to stop that. I don't know who you are, but you know, crawling across my floor at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning or whatever where really isn't conducive to good communication in this house, you know. Didn't scare me. I wasn't scared, but it was weird, you know, because then last night, nothing, and we've spoke about it several times, and I've had nothing for nearly 6 months. And this goes back to they can, you know, go to different places, you know, they spend time here, time there, you know.
Yeah, like a migration.
Like a migration kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Last night, I'm in bed and I heard a noise and I thought it was one of the cats at Rob's side of the bed. So I turned my head round and I'm looking, and the next minute all these little black hands and heads came up at the side of the bed. Along the side of the bed. And I was like, right, I'm not being funny. He really will not find that funny if he wakes up. So you have to go, and I did say I will try to communicate with them, so I will try to whisper a box or something, because they've obviously gone and then come back here, you know, and I said, you're alright staying, don't cause any trouble, you know, like, you're good, but I think it was about, I don't know, 2:30 this morning, and I was like, you're good, but, you know, time and a place kind of thing, and I'll try to communicate with you. But it was just weird, because it was like from the bottom of the bed right up, and I was looking over Rob like that. I was literally like, what? And all I could see was Rob, hands and...
That's amazing.
Right, Maureen says, get one of those cameras that let your mobile know that you have an intruder. That'd be interesting if it can actually pick them up. Claire wants to know if you were drunk, Mags.
I was stone cold sober, Claire. Stone cold sober.
Right, shall we move on to the next one?
It didn't scare me.
Keep talking, Mags, while I spin the wheel.
Yeah, it doesn't scare me. I don't scare with slides. But I wouldn't be amused because it's, you know, I'm like, if it catches one of these in the middle of the night, he's not impressed. And I was like, but it makes me wonder, because when he came up my side of the bed,
yeah, it's
think, alright, you know, it's a concept of time. This side of this time.
Yeah,
it's a weird one.
I apologise, it's going robotic. It's because I've got this thing running in the background, this download. When I'm swapping screens within Streamlabs, it's taking a lot of CPU up. We've just had 3 spins where we've already covered the topics, Andy. So I'm trying a 4th time now. Right, we've got a new topic now. Dryads.
Dryads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now this is a rarer one that a lot of people probably ain't aware of.
Yes. And then as far as I'm concerned, it should be a prominent one.
Mm-hmm.
So a dryad is the spirit of a tree. The inner energy of a tree. And if I'm right, it's kind of come from ancient Greece and their mythology. Fits in with Fae realm. Usually depicted as female. But there is certain trees that have got a couple of different types of dryads. You've got your ones that are locked to a tree.
Yeah.
And you've got some that are not locked, and the ones that are not locked can leave the tree and can be seen. You know, it can interact, it can be seen. If the tree gets cut down, usually they can try and find a newer one or a sapling to bond with and stuff like that.
So it won't kill the dryad if the tree's cut down?
No, the dryad will never die. I think it's an eternal energy.
Right.
As far as our research has gone. I mean, there's a lot of research into trees as it goes now. I mean, that people know a lot more about how they work. and apparently there is some sort of heartbeat sound in a tree. You know, when it's pumping water up, it's like our hearts that pumps blood.
Yeah.
You know, they are very much alive, like every other plant and stuff like that. But I've got a very interesting experience that I had with a tree. We've got a massive old poplar, black poplar, I think it is, in our local park. And there was this massive snapped branch, but it was still attached. Yeah, so it were almost a right angle, but still plenty of wood sort of attached underneath.
Mm-hmm.
And it had been hung there for years, you know, just like, and I said to Becky one day, I said, if that comes down on somebody's car, it's going to go straight through the roof. It's that big, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this one particular day last year, we got looking at Yule and stuff like that, and I says, you know, I'd really like that log. I said, I could make use of it. So I goes up to, anyway, I done my research on Dryads and how to approach them, and apparently you've got to approach from about 5 foot and try and, like, just think pleasantly about that you're wanting to communicate with it. Right. Slowly step forward. You know, if you don't get any sort of bad feelings, keep approaching until you come to the tree, and then you have to rub the tree's bark in a clockwise motion with your right hand, telling it that, you know, you've just come to connect with it and communicate. Then, sort of, if you want to try and get an answer back, rub its bark with your left hand to, you know, pull the energy into you. But we kind of did this, and I asked if I could have the log that had snapped for Yule. Anyway, cut about 4 days later, doing one of those rituals in a spirit box, and I said to Becky, I'll ask a question if that's the oldest, ancientest tree that we've got in park. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it replied instantly, come on the box, and it went, it's fallen. It's a big one. Go get it. And I didn't hear them last 2 weeks, a big one, go get it. And I thought it was talking about a tree that had just fallen over. Yeah. You know, in bad weather, in wind. About four weeks prior to me asking for this log. And I thought it might have been that, you know, because it were an old tree. Anyway, so me and Becky are off down into the park a couple of days later. And we're collecting some sticks, ones that we met, like that. And she goes, Andy, look over there. And this bloody log is laid there on the floor, waiting for us. And I was like, what the hell?
Oh, okay.
You know, yeah, and I'm like, we've got to go and get it. So we went and got it, took it home, and that's the tree that's in the corner of my room, the massive log. And they told us on Spirit Box, it had come down, it was waiting for us. And I was like, did we seriously get a gift from that tree? You know? Did it happen? Did we ask for it?
Sounds like it, isn't it?
And it gave us that branch. You know?
Right.
And it'd been...
Go on, Andy.
No, I'm just saying, it'd been only years, you know?
Right,
So
Maureen says, what do Dryads look like? Do they look like the pictures I've seen of them, where they're like female with arms that end as branches and bottoms of them are like roots?
I would say that's a little bit more fantasy looking at. They say that they are female in form.
Yeah.
But from what I know in my research, you see them more like a brown coloured energy form.
Right.
Yeah. We have seen sort of something like that near that area of tree. And apparently you can hear them sometimes if you're walking through woodlands. They can you'll hear a little hello, you know, like in wind and stuff like that. Yeah, apparently that's them trying to talk to you.
Oh, that's nice.
And get your attention.
It ain't nice if you ain't expecting it, Mags.
Yeah, it can catch you off guard.
Well, the thing is, when we're in this game, we kind of expect a lot of things, don't we? You know? And it takes a lot to throw you off guard when you're doing this. I mean, 17 years in this house, and very few breaks of activity. It takes a lot to throw me off guard now. And I'm hoping to move. Watch this, I'm moving to a house. I'm not used to being in this house and having all this activity. I'm going to freak out at night when it's quiet. That's what I'm going to do. And I can see it happening now. I will freak out when it's quiet at night.
Yeah, right. What I'm going to do from now, rather than keep spinning the wheel because I'm doubling up and causing a lot of interference with I'll start reading the ones we've got left. Right, Andy. Cool. So can you tell us about Redcaps?
Redcaps. Nasty little buggers. So Redcap is a form of goblin. They will usually hang out around old castles, old ruins, stuff like that. And they wear hats that they apparently used to dye with fresh human blood.
Yeah.
Leap Castle. Yeah, it's very pleasant. Leap Castle in Ireland has got a very, very good documentation of a Redcap.
Right.
Very well. Yeah, very well documented. Again, when I do my Ireland tour, it's on the list. I need to go and face one of these things. It could be amazing.
Are they mortally dangerous to humans, or just?
Apparently so. Yeah. Apparently they will try and cut you down.
They're like the mercenaries of the FAE't world, aren't they?
Mercenaries at Unseelie. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh God, that does sound very pleasant.
It does it?
I was reading about Redcaps a couple of weeks ago, and no, they're not pleasant.
I knew they were the evil side of the FAE't, but are they the only evil, generally evil side, or are there other branches of the FAE't that are
I think they're only ones that will go out of the way to cause damage, like by attack, if you will.
By attacking you, but I think unconsciously, it's probably a better way to put it. I don't think our morals and the FAE't morals, and this is just me, from what I've read, Andy, I'm no expert.
Yeah.
But they don't see things that would endanger us in the same way because they're immortal and things like that. They don't understand the dangers that can happen to us by the things that they do.
Yes.
That's not being evil. That's just they don't realise that that's actually the situation.
Is it the fact they don't realise, Andy, or do they deliberately go out of the way to do it?
A Redcap is definitely would deliberately do it. I think it's just got that into. He just likes to kill.
That's it.
to kill and damage. Yeah. Whereas, like say your boggart, has got that side to it that you'll get unpleasantness, but it won't maliciously attack you.
Yeah.
It could throw a rock at your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it will not sort of go out. I mean, a Redcap just wants you dead.
Charming. And is there a particular reason why they don't like us?
I don't think they like anybody FAE't as well. From what I've read.
I think they're just that way.
So they like that with other types of FAE't as well as humans.
Yeah, I think definitely.
And animals as well.
Yeah.
So do you think they could be when we get these reports of animal mutations and stuff, do you think they could be responsible for some of them?
Very hard to say. I mean,
good question.
It's a very good question. And you never know.
Like the hard questions here, Andy.
Obviously we are. It's one that I've never come across. You know what I mean? And it's one that I hope to come across in the future and sort of try and get some. I obviously cannot probably even talk to me. You know what I mean? I'd be very impressed if I could get one to even talk.
Yeah.
It might be just something that you might semi-capture on photograph, just looking like an angry little shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You might get the old stone throwing, and just the feeling of badness around you. You might get a few scratches or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's something I'm looking forward to. Obviously,
with trepidation.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge.
Right, shall we go on to the next one then?
Yeah.
Well,
This is the one a lot of people seem to be wanting. Brownies and boggles. Is it boggles?
Boggle. There's a few pronunciations, but yeah. Right, so house brownies, we'll start there. They are thoroughly sort of home energies. Very, very, very small, minute. Very rare that anyone will ever see one.
Right.
They don't like to show themselves at all.
Mm-hmm.
If you go down folklore routes, they used to hang around old farms a lot.
Right.
Obviously to get the dairy.
Yeah.
Especially cow farms, stuff like that. They would help in barns and stuff like that. But from our research, it weren't about physically tidying the home. It was more cleaning of energy in the home.
Right.
Because we come to the conclusion if you've got a happy brownie, your energy will feel a lot more uplifted.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should never ever gift a brownie directly because they get mightily offended. They're very, very emotional. If you go into anything out, if you know you've got one, it'll let you know. It'll do the classic sort of poltergeist style stuff. You'll get knocks, bangs, scraps on your doors or cupboards and stuff. You'll get a lot of activity around your kitchen because it's trying to ask for food.
Right.
You should lay some.
Would it write things on your furniture and stuff?
Yes.
It's alright because I've had a problem here recently where we've had words appearing in the house and tiny little, almost toddler age fingerprints on various things, and a lot of the activity I get in this house, like with the voices and the dogs being called, it was always in the kitchen. And Jace gets a lot of activity in the kitchen, drawers and cupboards opening and things like that.
Okay. Sounds like you might have a disgruntled brownie.
All right.
Now, what's this disgruntled brownie called?
A boggle.
A boggle?
Yeah. Yeah, so if you get a brownie, you can have a disgruntled brownie that can be asking if you're sensitive on picking up on him.
Mm-hmm.
But if it goes too far, that's when they'll turn. And they'll end up being what is known as a boggle.
So, I'll just stop down. I'm going to ask you this because of what was wrote on the top of Brett's DVD player.
Yeah.
Are they self-aware and know that they're slipping into that, side of, the wrong side of the road, shall we say?
Yes.
I'll tell you why, Andy, because the word that was written on top of my DVD player was help.
Right.
That was the word.
Okay. Yes, they are very much aware of what's happening to them. Yeah. But it's like an emotional strike that they can't help themselves. The way to cure it is to lay out a bit of honey. Honey's a neutraliser to the mood.
Right.
Obviously, don't say it's for him. Just leave it out somewhere.
Yeah.
We are activity. Yeah, we have major pointer activities happening.
It is actually in the kitchen for Jace.
Right. Yeah. So as good a quality honey as you can do. Just a little capful, like a bottle capful, a little bit with ice. But then up to like a week or so later start, we have a little lemon cake. Them like sort of singular finger style lemon cakes you can get. We just lay one of them out every week or so. And they're quite happy with it.
Oh, I'll try that with the honey and the lemon cakes then.
Yeah, it's just sort of like I need food and I want a little bit of respect kind of thing.
Yeah.
They do love respect.
I thought it was funny, and now I usually we have the Victoria, and it's not a deer cake, a little Victoria sponge cake, and we get it in the corner shop, and it's something like £1 or £1.60 odd. It's a little Victoria sponge, and that's what they get, like a slice of that, a quarter of it.
Yeah.
And that's what I'll leave out for mine.
Very cool. Most houses have got them, they'll just move in without you knowing it. But they are sort of locked out. So they do class that house as theirs and not yours.
Right.
Yeah.
But another key element is the most prominent person of the house has got to leave the stuff out.
So I'm gonna have to do it then.
Yeah, it's the
Jones don't actually live here.
It's the one he classes as the one that owns the house.
That'll be me.
The one that lives there
Yeah.
most. Yeah.
But I do
Yeah.
that.
So what is the difference then between a brownie and a boggle? Is a boggle vindictive?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it sort of turns against you. We could either do one or two things. It'll either drive you out of the house
Yeah.
as much as it possibly can, or it himself will just leave but cause a mighty ruckus while it's leaving. The activity will get so immense.
Right.
You know, they'll be like things getting ripped off, thrown about, you know, like your classic poltergeist style
Yeah.
activity.
Yeah.
But if it chooses to go down that route of staying and it wants you out,
Right.
then you're in for a little bit of a battle, because then you'll start getting the classic scratches.
Yeah.
You know, we've dealt with one that steals the lady's keys, and it'll not return them for months on end. You know,
I do that.
yeah,
We've had that occur here where things have gone missing for a few days and then reappeared. I have had that happen
yes.
here.
Well, a classic thing, if a brownie texts you instantly, it'll steal an item from you
Right.
to feel a bit closer to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that can happen, but yeah, the keys are a big thing. If keys go missing, it wants you gone.
No, it
This
ain't
question out to
stolen any
both of
keys.
yous.
Right.
Brett, this is to both of yous, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much you say, but Brett's in the process of maybe moving.
Yeah.
And all this activity, with the help and other writings in other areas, as kind of ramped up. If it's a brownie, are they saying, because they like to be invited, don't they? They like to know that they're welcome, kind of thing. And,
Yes. Yeah.
and you're leaving the gifts out with the honey and the cake, you know, afterwards. I'm wondering if they want to go with Brett.
Could be.
And they're trying to communicate that to him.
Yeah, because they don't like change either.
No.
If they're used
And
to
this is
you
wrapped
being...
up.
Well, it's quite welcome to come if it wants to. It's never caused any hassle in the house.
Yeah. I mean, only issue you've got with is if you move to one that's already got one beer, you'll not be allowed to. Only one per household.
So they won't cohabitate or nothing like that.
No.
So if you invite them, Andy, and then you get to your new house and they've come along with you, and the other one's there, where would they go?
They'd have to go back to house that they were occupying. Yeah. It's a shame, you know, because like such as me that like tries to communicate with mine.
Well, it's all. I said this, I think, to Brett the other day. Was it to you the other day, Brett? I'm not sure. I've had so much crap, and you know, you two, you know the basis of it, kind of. And I've had so much crap over the last few months.
Yeah.
And I kind of worry now over if the brownie that's in my house, you know, because it deals with emotions and everything, and you know that's kind of been a staple, like, with what's been going on. If I move and they're not there, you know, and it's kind of like that. Obviously, I'm wanting to move as well in the near future.
Yeah.
Either hopefully before Christmas or just after. And I want to move somewhere where because like they've been great, kind of thing. Because I do think things could have been a lot worse. Let's put it like that. Things could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
I'm worried that if I move and my brownie can't come with me, and there's you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Everybody's talking about cakes in chat now. We've got round to brownies.
But yeah, I mean, a couple of things like, you know, milk, chocolate, everything sweet. They absolutely love it. They love just having it as much as they possibly can as well.
I always have milk out in little things because I'm upstairs, and I always have a little thing of milk out, and I'll only have like 2 or 3 coffees a day. So there's always milk out there, and I always have a cake out there, you know.
Well, there you go. It's all good with your brownie.
Hmm.
And I drink
I'm gonna have to
tea.
start
When I
feeding
drink
mine.
tea, I drink tea with honey and lemon, so there's always honey there for them as well.
Yeah, but you will know. I mean, if it's a food issue, Brett, you will notice a change instantly.
Right.
Things
Okay.
will just neutralise and calm. If it's an issue of you potentially moving, then I don't know. You're going to have to look at that.
Maybe if you turn around and say, obviously, I know the rules and the law, as in L-O-R-E, not law.
Yeah.
I know that the rules and the law, but you are more than welcome if to the place where I move doesn't have a brownie. Just don't make an issue of it because they don't like to be made an issue of, do they?
Yeah.
If you don't make an issue of it, just maybe one day say it while you're walking around or doing something. You're more than welcome to come with me if that's the case.
Yeah,
and
but
I'm really sorry to lose you if you have to stay here. Just
what's
kind of
really
make that
interesting
kind of
about here is we've had action in the kitchen since we've moved in. Originally, it was with the dogs. It was with somebody mimicking Jason's voice and calling the dogs into the kitchen. That was what started off. But Jace always experiences things like my kitchen drawers, my cupboard doors opening. Now, my cupboard doors, Andy, are spring loaded. If you open them and let them go, they slam shut.
Yeah.
But they've opened and stayed open, and same with the drawers. But it's only since this thing where I'm going to have to move has come up that the scribbling has started round the house.
That's amazing. I mean, it's not, but it is at the same time. Yeah. Oh, it's an awkward one as well, just in case it is that.
Yeah. But the actual word that was written on top of the DVD was help. But all the other things we found, they're like tiny little scrolls, like tiny, like somebody's pressed a little finger and then they've drawn a line somewhere. They almost look like Chinese writing. Some of them,
Really?
it's like they're like symbols. It's really strange to describe them.
Right.
I think just not making an issue of it, mentioning like a brownie in passing, maybe while you're dusting and cleaning or something, washing the pots, it's even more activity in the kitchen. Just turn around and say, if I have a half brownie, when I move, you're more than welcome to come with me if there's a place for you.
Yeah.
Just maybe say something like that in passing.
I'd maybe try it with spirit boxing as well, 'cause it might be a bit more.
To be honest with you, when I first, not long after I first moved in, when we got because it comes in waves here, but there's never been any scrolling until it come to light. I'm gonna have to move.
Exactly.
But I did actually do the spirit box when I was getting the voice in the kitchen that was calling the dogs in there, and I actually said on the spirit box the one day, whoever it is that's calling my dogs in my kitchen, why are you doing it? And instantly, straight away, I got the reply to talk, and that was the one and only thing that was ever said.
Bless.
See, do you know what I got the other day, Andy, when I did this spirit box session?
Oh.
And I've not got a lot of views using it because I forgot to post it everywhere because, I'm not interested in building a show. I actually got the name Brendan. Brendan's a very Irish name.
Okay.
It's not spelled like Brendan as the English should spell it. It's spelled D-A-N, Brendan.
Yeah.
And I got Brendan through, and Peter, and Ian. And then, Peter and Ian seem to come out quite a lot together, and then I got Ian. And that was the day before they decided to dive on Rob from the side of the bed.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering if it's just, if they're actually here at the minute, and, that's why. I don't know. It's crazy. And because I'm not thinking Peter's an evil spirit, because I don't feel bad. No. And everybody, I ask a lot of people, because, it's me. I ask a lot of people if they had a demon in the house. I don't believe in demons in the Judeo-Christian Bible kind of sense of demon. But I ask a lot of people if they had a demon in the house or even just a negative entity, would they feel it? And everybody I spoke to is yes. I don't feel bad in my house. It feels fine. You know, it feels just normal. There's nothing changed in the atmosphere, the feeling of the house or anything. So I'm wondering if it's more gnomes than, you know, and one of them's decided to stick around and want to talk, or if it's, you know, I don't know, but it's just weird. I don't feel bad, so I don't think it's a nasty entity. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, I agree. I mean, if it were all certainly bad, I mean, if it, for example, demon, I'd think a goblin. You know, if it was somebody coming to me and they're like, look, I'm getting this sort of negative thing happening in my house, I'd obviously go down house brownie route first. If it's turning, you know, and then I'd look at possibly a goblin that's moving and causing ruckus. And that's how I'd always go. Because, you know, similarities between what people say goblins do and what demons do for Christianity way is very similar.
Yeah.
You know, very similar sort of stuff. But yeah,
Crazy, isn't it? You know? But I absolutely adore the, like, elves version where you know, they more or less stereotypical demon in body, if you will.
yeah.
I kind of like that theory. And it makes sense in a way to me.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I kind of like that theory.
Well, it weren't really a theory of mine. It's what I've, you know, completely written about. It's in the history of elves, like, they well, that feared even by ancient witches, and you know that they started using the pentagram as a ward against them. You know, because apparently they are the true magical beings. They're the one that can produce magic.
Yeah, and I've read a lot about that before, where they actually are the ones who are the magical beings per se.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously the 7-pointed star we use is called the Elven Star, and one of the points is magic. You know.
Right, should we get on to the next category?
Just right quick, I'm just want to point out there were a bloody Dobby comment from Harry Potter, and he was based on an house brownie. And Dobby, Dobby is the English Yorkshire version of a brownie.
Right.
So Dobby can come through your box. It's come through mine quite a lot.
Cool. Right, next category then is fauns.
Fauns, right. So
I'm leaving
obviously
elves till last.
Oh, are you? Oh, here we go. Right. So fauns, obviously think of Mr. Tumnus from Lion, Witch and Wardrobe.
Yeah.
You know, the sort of humanoid head body with the either goat or deer or horse legs or whatever people portray them as, with pointed ears and little horns on their head. Yeah. And you've got a few offshoots from them. Obviously, the East Guardian, we'll go back to the Guardian, would be Pan.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
They are sort of your woodland. They are like the true wild energy of the woods. You know, often come playing an instrument, usually an air instrument. But the god of the air, we'll say god this time because of the folklore, was called Faunus, which, you know, played a flute, which is quite like Pan as well from Greek mythology.
Are they like the satyrs as well? Is it satire?
Yes, they come into it as well. But apparently they're very pompous and all they want to do is just have sex with everything that they come across.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad thing.
Apparently, always portrayed with an erection.
Yes, a very large one.
Yeah, not a bad thing.
Yeah. But again, I've I've had Fawn come through Spirit Box recently in some woodland.
Are they more?
Foxes.
I presume they are more woodland based than anything else.
Yeah, definitely.
I doubt you're gonna be finding many of them in urban areas.
I very much doubt it. Yeah, like I said, a true wild
Yeah.
children of the woods. Yeah.
I love that they're all split up. I know, I'm sorry I'm interrupting, but I kind of love that they're all split up into different areas. I mean, if we, as the people, as the human race, actually work to our strengths, I think the world would work a lot better than it actually does. We don't kind of get the Fae or elemental kind of sense of living. And, you know, we don't work to our strengths. I mean, I know mine's sarcasm, but we kind of don't work to our strengths, do we? You know, we go with the flow and we follow. We're more lemmings than Fae. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
definitely.
to me, I think we'd work better if we weren't.
Right,
I totally agree.
We've got 2 categories left. I want to get them done, and then I want to open the chat for people to ask Andy or us any questions on the Fae that, you know, we ain't covered.
Don't ask us.
Okay.
Right, okay, the last but one then is Will-O-the-Wisp.
Will-O-the-Wisp. Yeah. Very, very, very odd one. This one. It's what you'll find with this one is most of the lore on this is like a light, like like an orb that you can physically see.
Are they more like marsh gas type appearance? Like a glowing orb of energy.
Yeah, but really, really small.
Right.
And they're really, really quick. And you'll see them like.
So they're basically an orb,
like,
Andy.
Basically, yeah.
The light source. Let's go with light source. The light source.
But they usually show up at naked eye. Like you said, like bogs, swamps, marshes, country lanes, edge of woodlands, stuff like that. Some people think they're like the initial scouts that watch out for the rest of the Fae. So they're like maybe in form, or they're like an alarm system.
Right.
Not necessarily like a sentient being, but like an
alarm system.
Yeah.
And are Will-O-the-Wisp more rural, or are they everywhere?
I would say pretty muchly rural.
Right.
Yeah.
So they'd be more like the guardians on the edge of the woods, alerting that people are coming in.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, especially if you've got any fin spots, like we call them finnies. You could possibly pass.
I know what a fin is.
Yeah. So you probably tend to get them around them sort of areas.
Right.
I would imagine.
See, me and Lee in chat, we both had the same thing. Did you ever watch the kids' cartoon Will-O-the-Wisp?
Yeah, with Kenneth Williams and Mavis the Fairy. Yeah.
and the TV.
Evil Edna. Yes, I remember it well.
That's what I'm thinking when I think Will-O-the-Wisp.
Okie dokie, I've left this one till last because this one's probably going to be the one that most people are going to ask questions about. Elves.
Okay. Oh.
Elves, right. So, when you think of elves, don't think a Lord of the Rings, Mags.
But it's so hard to think of all that, don't believe.
Right, so a quick sort of description of them. Your younger ones will look a little bit softer in the features.
Right.
Apparently they've all got really, really big eyes, quite pointed ears, sort of your classic. Right, if you think Dark Crystal, right?
I was watching that the other day, the new series.
Yeah. So Gelflings, I think they were very much based on Elven race. They're quite snouty, you know.
Yeah.
That is a very close depiction of what they actually look like.
So they've got that kind of monkey jaw.
Yeah. The quite forward from the nose to the chin.
Yeah.
Yep, Orlando Bloom. That just sounds just like him.
Have you ever seen the Dark Crystal, Mags? A Gelfling looks nothing like Orlando Bloom.
I've watched the first episode of the new ones on Netflix. But yeah.
So, how tall are the elves in general?
Right, you've got a few different elven races. You've got like your bog standard woodland elf, right? You've got your dark and your light, which are a little bit taller.
Yeah.
And then you've got your elder documenters, which are the tallest of them all. And the tallest is same as us. You know.
Right, so you know, Andy, I've got to ask you this.
Yeah.
And remember when I told you about the experience I'd had? It was like the anti-Shadow Man.
Yeah.
But it was like
the
a
light
heat
shimmer.
haze,
Yeah.
but it had a glow.
Yeah.
And you said that might have been an elf. Could you explain why? I know what you said to me. I'm just saying for people at home. Well, you know, at home.
Yeah.
Oh God, look at me being all professional. But yeah, for them, you know, in chat. 'Cause to me, it was. I have never, and it's really weird. In the last 6 months, I've 17 years. I've had similar experiences. Different things, but the same people involved. The lady in the wedding dress, the man in the suit, the child. I've had all these experiences, and you know the chaos going on, like having a party in the next room, the stairwalks. You know, all these things are like normal for me to deal with. But over the last 6 months, I've had things that I haven't experienced in the last 17 years. And the only way I can explain it is literally the anti-Shadow Man. He was glowing. He was see-through, but with a heat haze, so I could see.
Yeah.
I could see his arms. I could see his head. I could see his legs and his torso. You know, I could actually see the rounded edges of his arms and his head. You know.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And when I explained this to you, you said it could have been an elf.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering why.
Purely, as you know, we work with a young one we call Stuart. That's the closest possible name I can. Because they have got some mad names, really hard to pronounce. So I think he gave us a simplified version. And when I first ever saw him, it was like a shimmer. You know, like a.
Yeah.
It looked a little bit like water travelling in, like downwards.
Like
you know,
a heat
like.
haze.
Yeah.
The only way I can explain this thing that I seen was the heat haze. That's the only, but with a glow.
Yeah. And I kept saying to Becky, I keep catching a little shimmer, you know, like of a outline of a person, like quite small, because he's a young one. And then later on in his research, we found out that elves come as a shimmer, you know, and I was like, oh my god, as if.
I have never experienced that in my house in 17 years. But it was tall. It was probably near 5 feet tall. I was taller than it. So it could have been like between 4'10" and 5 feet.
Yeah, which would generally be an elder one. I mean, they tend to, you know, if your perception's opening up with elves and you're starting to see the Fae and experience and communicate, they will come and document your progress.
Well, this was after I'd started doing my brownie thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, and it was after I'd seen what you explained to me as the Gnomes, and I'd kind of took that on board anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering if it was because of that. Now the way I look at it, I live literally a stone's throw away from a parkland.
Yeah.
There was no houses built on this land before. My house was built on it. But there's also a pond at the park, which is literally just across from me. And I'm wondering if all these things, and we did actually say about ley lines the other day, me and you speaking privately.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering if I've just opened myself up to another view of thinking until they're coming forward, if you will.
Yeah, could be. But we also spoke about your tree, 'cause you've got a big elm tree in your garden, haven't you? Well, the elm tree wasn't always referred to as an elm tree. It used to be called the elfin tree. Or
Which
the
is
elf.
really cool considering what I've been experiencing.
Yeah, or the elfin friend. Apparently, if you can connect with elms, then you will open your perception up to elves.
Here's a
I love
question. Here's a
my
question for you,
tree
Andy.
thing. This is,
Do you Tolkien is actually credited with inventing all these like elven races. Do you think he actually had a lot more knowledge of elves than what people realise? Because if you think about it, you've got the light elves, which were based on his like the ones who lived in what's his name, Elrond and them lot.
Yeah.
You've got the elder ones who were the Noldor, which were represented by Galadriel. You've
Yeah.
got the dark ones, which were represented by the Hurrikai, and then you've got
Yeah.
the wood elves, which were represented by Orlando Bloom and his lot.
Yeah.
You know, and don't you think it's funny that all his
before
types of
that,
elves
really.
correspond to the ones that you've just listed? Do you
Yeah.
think he may have
Definitely.
done he may have had more knowledge than what people realise on this?
Yes, definitely. And I can guarantee you now, he was a massive, and he used to preach this.
Yeah.
Right? If you look in his history, he was a massive believer in leprechauns.
Yeah.
He absolutely adored them.
He literally believed what he was saying, and he might have, sexted them up a bit.
Yeah.
But he literally did believe what he was preaching. But he also, at the end of the day, he took his knowledge from somewhere. So he wasn't just, he all of a sudden all of the faith didn't come to him. He took his knowledge from somewhere.
Yeah.
What he took it from was worldwide folklore,
Yeah.
and with the Irish, with the Fae, the Shining Ones, and things like that, he took it from there. He took it from Germany. Do you know what I mean? He took it from everywhere where they have some kind of Fae.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe
it's very interesting if you're into Tolkien, and particularly if you've read the Silmarillion.
Oh,
how much
I haven't.
how
read it.
much
Do you know what?
he ties in
I
with what
haven't,
Andy's
but
just said. It's amazing how much what Andy's just said ties in with Tolkien's versions of the elves. Very much so.
Yeah, I haven't read it, but Rob actually has read it. I've read Lord of the Rings, but I haven't read that. But Rob has, and like obviously he's explained it to me and talked to me about it. And Rob thinks that's the best book he's ever wrote. Tolkien, he really will stand by that. He thinks it's the best of the lot that he's actually wrote, Tolkien. I will get round to it at some point to read it.
To be honest with you, a lot of people who've read Tolkien have a shock when they read the Silmarillion because it's not actually a story. It's more like an encyclopedia of Middle Earth. It goes right way back to the first age.
Yeah.
But if you actually read the Silmarillion, where he goes back through all the history of the elves, it's very interesting, Andy, how much it ties into what you've just said of the different types of elves.
Okay, right. That's cool.
And it is cool, Andy, because obviously I've not read it, but Rob's told me about it. It's probably something you should read, because I do believe he actually. Well, we know he actually believed it. So if you actually read it, you would go, okay.
Yeah.
I do think that from what I've been, the cliff notes of it, what Rob said to me.
Yeah. That's
right,
cool.
So we've covered all the different classes. Now we're up to anybody can ask Andy questions in chat about anything they want to Fae related, and I'm going to kick it off with: is there a Fae hierarchy, Andy?
Yes. Most definitely. I've I've come across some stuff that definitely seems a lot higher up in ranks than others, and they'll make it known to you as well. You know, if you can manage to connect with them and talk to them, they will sort of make it. It's usually the ones that are really prominent as well that they'll, you know, and they will push others away, you know, to talk to you. And then obviously you've got your Seelie and Unseelie, which the Seelie, you know, goes right up to the queens of the Fae themselves, you know. Again, all written in folklore as well, like such as Thomas the Rhymer, which an elven queen apparently come from.
Love Thomas the Rhymer. Gotta say, I've
One of
done 2 videos on him.
One of my favourites. One of my favourites.
Yeah, me too. Love him.
Anybody in chat, feel free to put whatever questions you want to ask Andy into the chat, because he's more than happy to answer. And now Llama Andy is not a Rastafarian. Not everybody with dreadlocks is a Rastafarian. Right, have you got anything you want to ask, Mags?
I'm more like an Elfafarian.
Elfafarian. Kind of like that. Andy, as an Elfafarian. What do you think? Or I'm sorry, I'm gonna go for the big question now.
Go on, I'm ready.
Brace yourself. Grab hold of Becky wherever you feel like it.
I ain't having hold of Becky. She's got a saw in her hand. I'm not touching her.
No, we'll go for the torso.
Okay.
Grab hold of Becky. Right. What do you think is the whole, as a general rule, what do you think the Fae are here for?
Plainly and simply to take care of the earth.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Mm.
Their major interest.
That kind of question, Mags, is like, why do you think we're here?
I don't know why you're here. I'm here to provide the sarcasm and the humour. I haven't got a clue why you're here, right?
If you sort of strip away, right, the good points of paganism, Wicca, Druidism, and look at the simple, fundamental sort of foundation of it, is the earth itself, be a god, right, needs caretakers.
See, I'm a big believer in the Gaia theory, Andy.
Yeah, it does make sense. But
I never believed in the Gaia theory, and I've been looking into it, and I literally do believe now, and this actually doesn't take away from what I believe in at this moment in time upon my journey, and this is what I try to impress upon people. I'm literally, and everybody should be on a journey, I'm literally on a journey, and at this moment in time, I'm still believing human spirit, and I believe in the Fae. So, on my journey, that's kind of where I am. I'm at the crossroads. And so to me, the Gaia theory makes sense, but it makes sense to both things. And I don't know how that happens,
Yeah, what were you saying, Andy?
So, yeah, basically, as my research is going, what we kind of are thinking is that the earth, be a god itself, maybe, and obviously this, I don't know if it fits into Gaia theory. I've not actually looked at it wholeheartedly, but because we try and gather our own and see what the Fae themselves are telling us, and it kind of looks like that the earth wanted to experience itself and gave life to experience itself in the form of us.
Yeah.
And we're killing it. We're killing it. It's killing itself via us, this is why it resets numerous times, tries to get rid of what it's done to itself. it's a really odd concept, but it kind of does make sense, and this is why the recycling, the reincarnation comes into it.
I'm not a reincarnation fan, I'm a recycling fan, and I do believe we do it because it's something we need to do. You know?
Yeah. We're basically just batteries, that's all we are. Yeah. But, I don't think we were meant to do what we've done. We're only accountable for our own actions.
But you see, this is also the thing then, if you look at it like that, and I'm going back to what we spoke about earlier, they give us the choice and they're not supposed to influence us. And I really do believe that. I don't believe they're supposed to have any influence on our choices, which I kind of think is good in a way. In most ways, actually. I think we should. Then if we mess up this earth, then it's our mess up. Somebody has to be held accountable to what we're actually doing. So, and I'm not a tree hugger, Andy, in any way, shape or form, I do my best to recycle, but that's probably about...
Are you insinuating Andy's a tree hugger?
No, but I mean,
you would never, ever see me hugging a tree.
If he wants to hug a tree, he would buy a project. You know what I mean? You get good friction on them trees. But do you know what I mean? I'm not green in any sense of the thing, but as an impartial observer, shall we say, we are really not doing right by our planet. And we're not doing right in the sense that how many times do we need to be hit over the head with it? I'm not overly big on recycling. I do the plastics and, we stick the paper in one, the basics. But I'm not, major into it. I stick the things in the bin where they say they should go. And that's it. But I do wonder sometimes, though, if them not interfering can be kind of a hindrance more than a help. Do you know what I mean? Maybe they should dip the toe in the water.
Lee's just asked an interesting question. Are the djinn classed as fae?
Ooh, well, I like the djinn. I did a video on that too.
In some of my books, they are. Same with incubuses and succubuses. I think a lot of lorists like to try and see how this stuff started, and because to me a djinn is like a...
I'd say it's like a fire elemental. I'd think of it as a djinn.
That's exactly the route I want to go down. It's more like an elemental that they're managing to harness and kind of control to some degree.
Yeah, and I agree. Got to agree. From what I actually got djinn on my spirit box. I was asking about the djinn, and I actually got, and obviously the Muslim religion related, because they were more prevalent in that kind of society. And I actually got the Quran, I got Muslim come through in my spirit box, and I got Jinn come through in my spirit box.
Do you think... oh, go on, sorry, Max.
But I also got Fire and Dragon. So,
Do you think a lot of these, spirits and entities in other, religions and beliefs could actually be what they're interpreting the fate to be?
Their interpretation of, definitely.
With things like the djinn and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Can I just say to Paranormal Drama Llama, he said, what books has Andy written? Andy hasn't written any books as of yet. He's actually on a journey, and it's a new journey for him. Only, 2-3 years old, Andy?
3 years on Halloween, yeah.
3 years old. And, he's not one of those people who want to, shall we say, sell themselves out. He's actually doing it for genuine reasons. So, he's actually on his journey and he's writing everything down in his grimoire because of his, I don't want to say religion, Andy, what would you say?
It's just
Beliefs.
Beliefs.
a journey. Yeah.
Yeah, it believes in where he's going and what's presenting itself in front of him. So, you can't write something down that you haven't got an ending for.
Now,
And at this point in time, he hasn't got an ending. So he's literally on his journey and he's documenting it as he goes along.
when he said my books, Llama, what he actually meant was the books that he's got on the Fae.
Yeah.
Not the
The
ones
reference.
he's written.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's it.
you'll be very hard pressed to find anybody that is more knowledgeable on the Fae than Elemental Encounters on YouTube, I guarantee you.
Claire, I know when I do my narrations, I literally speak in a very posh, very ordered voice, and but she keeps wanting me to do narrations for books, and I'm like, I am not doing narrations for books because if you listen to any of my Legends videos, I'm very she keeps wanting me to do them. The voice that I use on them is different.
Lee says, do they only appear in the Middle East, or do we get them over here? I presume he's referring to the Jinn, Andy.
To the gin, yeah. I can't really answer that because obviously you've got a lot of paranormal teams that thought it were cool to bring them into their investigations. I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
That they'll buy these bloody crap rings from dark web that's in a box and apparently it contains it. Just like the Dibbit box. I can't confirm or deny that that's real. You know what I mean? But at the same time, an auntie of mine married somebody at Muslim faith, and he swears that he saw one in their house.
Did he actually saw a Jinn?
Yeah. He swears to this day that he saw one manifest in front of him. Obviously I don't know if he saw something he thought were one of them. Like out of his own fear, that's what it was, and that's that. Like the old Christian to a demon. I don't know if it were a case of that. But they seem a lot more prominent in that in their traditional countries, don't they? That's what I think.
Yeah.
I live, Andy, and I have stated this before, and Brett knows this, so I'm not stating something that's not obvious. I live in an 80% Muslim area.
Yeah.
And so when I did my spirit box on the Jinn, I got references to the Jinn. I got about the Quran, I got Muslims through, and I got Jinn through. But does that mean that I contacted a Jinn? No, it didn't. It actually means that I live in a highly susceptible area for those things to become a knowledge to whoever's, I'd say, past.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I contacted a Jinn, because I don't believe I did. I just believe I contacted people with a knowledge.
More likely something telling you about a Jinn.
the Jinn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lee guys said, Brett, you gave me an intro to Andy, but he seems well clued up. He is well clued up on the Fae, Lee, but he'll be the first to tell you he's only scratched the surface. And he'll be the first to tell you that.
Yeah, I'm just a fangirl.
As Mags would put it, it's a scratch and sniff.
I'm just learning as I go along. So, it's a subject that both myself and Brett, I think we're both really interested in, aren't we, Brett?
Mm-hmm.
It's something we both really, really enjoy learning about, but I don't believe we have actually scratched or sniffed yet.
We don't want to be sniffing it for you, Mags. We might all end up with elf babies.
Lee says, do Jinns look like what we can see on movies, blue eyes, zombie looking? If they are fire elementals, Lee, they can appear in whatever form they want.
Yes, definitely. I agree with that.
They could be a flaming pillar or a totally normal looking person if they wanted to be.
Yeah.
paranormal drama, Llama? Yeah, he has.
I have. I've seen many.
Yeah.
You need to you need to go onto Andy's channel and look at a lot of Andy's videos, Llama.
Yeah, and I've actually shown on numerous occasions. I don't know whether it's on this channel or the other. We've, the one with the middle finger, giving it justice.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's just fucking amazing.
The investigation when he was grabbed is the best one. That is really funny. That one is really
I was
funny.
watching live. I was watching you live the other night, Andy, and you were facing the bear.
Yeah.
And you've said you, and I did actually hear something in the distance, like a door or something slamming.
Yeah.
But the way before that, the way you was facing your camera towards the bear.
Yeah.
Two different places, but two different things I thought I saw. One was right next to the near the bear. I thought I saw something, and up, and it was like, I don't know whether it was like the corner of an architrave or something up above a level up. I thought I saw something there as well.
Right.
I didn't put it in the chat. I was actually watching the whole thing. I wasn't chatting much, but I was actually really watching. And twice I thought, and your spirit box that you did, I am convinced it said Peter the Mary Lou. And the Mary Lou,
I heard that.
yes, the Mary Lou was quite fragmented, more robotic kind of voice. But it went Peter and then it said Mary Lou.
Because I said to Becky after, I'm sure that said her name, and she nodded at me. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm. And I went back and listened to it while you were live. This is one of the reasons I didn't comment much, because I was going back and listening.
Yeah.
And I slowed it down while I was on the stream, and I'm convinced it said Peter and then Mary Lou.
Yeah. I did hear that as well.
Yeah.
Do you? Are you aware, Andy, where one group of Fae are actually in control of another? Does that happen?
Good question.
This is an odd one. Well, I'll take that place for yesterday for an example. When we first ever visited that one, we were talking to a group of elves, right? Because the elves like bright light, the keen on bright white light, and we were talking to them and stuff like that. But then when we visited again, it were a bunch of gnomes, and elves were nowhere to be seen. So I don't know whether they've kicked them out or if they've just moved on or whatever, but I don't know if they do take control. They don't seem to do. They're kind of like, I don't know. You've got me with that one. That's
something for you to look into.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some situations we've been in and see if I'm.
Leah's put, okay, good question to any of you. Do you think ghosts and aliens are related? Shadow people, time slips, etc. We actually discussed this the other day on a previous stream where, we even said there could certain elements of the Fae races have been mistaken for things like ghosts and shadow people.
Well, I wanted.
It was on my stream, wasn't it? We kind of got into dimensions and
because
and that kind of thing.
If you listen to some of Andy's descriptions of how these various Fae manifest, some of them could quite easily be mistaken for things like shadow men. Quite easily.
Well, I wanted to bring shadow people up earlier because there is.
Do it now.
There is a group of witches in a coven that have been documenting them for a while, and they do believe that the shadow men are elves, especially the hat man, because elves usually have hats on.
Is there a reason why they have hats on? I'm sorry, I have to ask. Is there a reason why they have hats?
It's a common trait through many at FAE. They're very big on hats and hoods.
Distinguished. They like the distinguished look.
Yeah. but they believe that the sort of, the type of sleep paralysis you get when you get that visitation, where you can see a shadow in your room or you can feel something with you when you get it.
Yeah.
They believe it's an elf that's trying to access your dreams.
Right, okay.
And that if you don't freak out and you let it happen, something amazing can happen on the other side. But most people freak.
Yeah, I have what I would consider precog dreams. And, precognition. I literally have, and I spoke to Brett about this before and a few other close friends. And because I'm so skeptical, it's literally really hard for me to say I have precog dreams. I mean, really, really fucking hard for me to say it. So that interests me, that if they can affect your dreams, and I'm just thinking I'm having visions of the future, does that mean they know what's going to happen as well?
Why would they want to be accessing your dreams, Andy? What is the motivation for it?
It's a bit like what Max has just been talking about. I've had a few precog dreams as well, mainly about apple trees. But apparently, I'm just trying to remember that what we read about bloody accessing. Becky's looking at me right weird. She's like, "What are you on about?" So basically,
give him a slap. It might make him think clearer.
I know. I say I've got a lot of information to hold in this little head of mine. Come on, give me some credit.
No, you see, the only thing I can think about now is that this little head of mine. Sorry, go on.
Has everybody noticed, by the way, the sound's been better since I knocked that background off?
Oh, definitely.
Hasn't it just?
Yeah,
What it is, I was running that straight off the computer. I'm going to have to upload it to the cloud bot so it comes straight off the cloud. It'll make it easier. Go on, Andy.
Minority Report. Good film, that.
Yeah, it's
Come on.
So yeah, I think it's to give you sort of information via your dream. I think that what outline of it. Cause, again, like Mags, I've experienced one about apple trees.
Right.
I had this dream. I went to Toppert Road, and there were all these apples laid out on the floor, and I went to get some, and this old lady come out there, and she was like, "Oh no!" She goes, "Don't have them." She goes, "Come right back." She goes, and pick some of these lovely red ones I've got on these trees. So I did. She goes, "Take as many as you want." So I did. And I said to Becky, I said, "That's what I really try." It's been stuck with me for days. Anyway, she was reading this book, Bex, and it got on about Thomas the Rhymer. So she basically she was like, "Oh, what's all that about?" We are Tommy. Obviously with the name Thomas and the Fae we look at. So she gets this ballad of Thomas the Rhymer up on YouTube, and it's this woman singing song. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And in the tale that the Elven Queen come across an orchard, and Thomas the Rhymer went to get an apple off floor because he were hungry, and she like, do not pick one off floor.
Yeah.
All the apples on the floor contain all the badness and the lies and the hurt of the world. Pick one directly from the tree and eat it.
I actually put that in one of the stories that I did, Andy. That's actually in one of the stories that I did.
Yeah, and not but 3 days later I dreamt that about the picking of the apple.
Wow.
And
I actually did that. So, it's actually in one of the Legends videos that I did.
Lee's talking there about it's happened a lot of times to me. It's scary when you're awake and can't move. Do you think that it could be something like the elves responsible for sleep paralysis?
Apparently, it's the dark elves.
The dark elves.
Yeah, they get into corners of your room with shadows, and but there's no bad about them. I've experienced one in an old mill that actually spoke like an EVP of a camera. When I asked what it was, we got a full thing and went dark elf. Like an EVP.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's pretty cool. But they just tend to watch from afar. But where you'll get a dark, you'll get its light counterpart in the same area.
Yeah, I've read that, right? And this is something. Obviously, I'm not as learned as you, Andy. Obviously, but I've been, looking at it, and the Seelie and Unseelie side of it. That's kind of what I've been looking at it as the Seelie and Unseelie side. Yeah. And the reason they say Unseelie is because they're more of the unpleasant looking things than the Seelie are. The Seelie are more the elves, the fairies, the pretty kind of looking things.
Yeah.
And the Unseelie are more of the, you know, the not so nice looking, you know, dobby kind of looking things, you know.
The more grisly ones, yeah.
The more grisly ones. And I was reading about this, and they were saying, you know, that's kind of why people say Seelie and Unseelie. It's more the animalistic side, if you will, in the Unseelie, and the more humanoid side in the Seelie. Yeah, I don't know whether that's true.
They're a lot more wild in the beliefs, yeah. And they're not as friendly to communication with human, you know.
What would you be if you looked like Shrek and was trying to communicate with people? Let's be honest, you'd have issues, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, this is why I completely believe that they don't show themselves in the true form, even when they're trying to communicate with people. They'll show you a human.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a lot of. I mean, some of them, most of them, don't even trust showing themselves fully to me.
Yeah.
You know.
Drama alarm, keep it clean, please, and you will be able to show every message you send. Or keep it with a nice dose of Kenneth Williams. Bit of innuendo, darling. Use your innuendo. Sorry. It was just getting blocked for what you were saying. It's like just use innuendo, darling, and you'd be cool.
Do you believe, Andy, that each type of fae has a counterpart? Not necessarily an exact opposite, but they have a counterpart.
Question.
Not all. I don't believe they all do. Because, like, you know, such as like fairies, I don't think they've got a counterpart to them. Mm-hmm. I think it's mainly just that race or elf I've come across that have got that. But again, you don't tend to meet many of them. Woodland elves are sort of ones we've come across most.
Why do you think elves are more well known than the others?
I think it's because they were so greatly feared in history. Like I said, they were ones that were demonised by a church. Apparently, they were so powerful. They're the only ones that the people, other than sort of your ancient witches and stuff, believe lived alongside us, albeit invisible.
Yeah.
So they were the ones that were most predominantly known and feared.
So where do you think all the legends of like stealing children and changelings and stuff came from?
Well, I like changelings.
I think that were just fear-mongering at time, you know.
So you don't think there's any validity to it?
No, not at all.
See, I like the changeling thing, Andy. I've got to say, I actually do like the changeling thing. But not on a Seelie. If you're looking at it from a Seelie point of view, but from an Unseelie point of view, and trying to even out the chords.
Yeah.
If you look at it like that way, it actually makes sense. It doesn't make sense if you're looking at every fae as sweetness and light, but it actually makes sense if you're looking at it from a more Unseelie chord kind of thing, where they're not as presentable. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I can almost guarantee you, I have been down that route of questions with them, and they are fully aware that humans used to say that they did this, and they will joke about it as well with you.
Mm-hmm.
They're quite open about discussing it.
They're open about discussing it, but I can, guarantee from them it's not true. If they were going to steal a child, that's it. The child will go missing, and that's it.
Yeah, but see,
Yeah.
see, with the changeling thing, I never understood what the point of the changeling really was.
Yeah. If
No, I can though, Brett. I can if it's unseelie court. If you're looking at it from the unseelie point of view, I can understand it. If you're looking at it from the seelie point of view, it's not necessary. If you're looking at it from just a fae in general, and you're not looking from seelie or unseelie, it's kind of a toss-up. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah,
but is that definition of seelie and unseelie true? Is it just based on who's ugly and who ain't?
Well, I got right now. I got the other day through, and I have never ever, as God is my witness, my brother is buried 6 feet under, not like a mile away from me. I got the other day unsealie through my spirit box. I have never had a fake reference like that. Ever. I have never, ever had a fake reference.
What I'm saying, Mags, is your definition of seelie and unseelie correct?
But does it matter if my definition to them? Does it matter if my definition?
Yeah, but that's the question I've just asked Andy. Is Mags's definition of seelie and unseelie how you split them between being ugly and being pretty?
Half correct, yeah.
Half correct.
Yeah, you would get that, but then sort of they're a little bit more rogue. You know what I mean? They do not want us here.
Are they closer to dark and light than ugly and pretty? Is that more of the distinction?
Yeah.
Because let's be honest,
if you were to break it down into religious terms to make it more easy, you've got your unseelie demons, you've got your seelie angels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do we actually know that that's the thing? This is the thing.
Yeah.
Do you? Oh, trying to think how. Do you acquire yourself to that situation? If you look ugly, then you are ugly, and therefore your personality becomes ugly. And this is kind of what I think.
But see, that don't hold true, Mags, because a lot of things that and this crosses over into other areas of the paranormal and religion. The devil is said to be the most handsome angel of them all.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with you. But can I just say, I'm fucking loving this. We literally are not those people who like.
To me, it seems seelie and unseelie are split more by intent rather than by looks.
Maybe.
That's how I think this.
Yeah, I mean, because one of the gnomes that comes to see us, I mean, he's grizzly, and he's the gentlest, kindest thing you'll ever meet. You know what I mean? But the picture I've got on him, it scares somebody out of the socks.
Can I just say, clear put, like Mag thinks Brett.
I know, I've just read it.
Brett is pretty.
I was going to put a disgusting response to that, but then I've told Llama off for putting rude things, so I won't.
How does Andy's belief in inform his faith? I'm assuming that is his spiritual and religious beliefs. There you go, Andy. How do you think it impounds you in any way, shape, or form, or impacts you in any way, shape, or form? Your religious beliefs, spiritual or otherwise.
You see, it's been a weird journey for me because obviously 3 years ago I were a non-believer. I wouldn't have even considered any of this. I'd had experiences all my life, and there were always some a little bit off with every single one of them. And when it come to dealing and sort of finding out more about an entity we were talking to, and he put us on track. First off, it was elemental stuff. That's what he was. Sort of big on getting us looking at. And then for the first sort of 8 months of his channel growing, I'll ride it back to what we were talking to. You know, if they were coming out with, oh, I'm an elf on Spirit Box, I was cutting it out. I was cutting it out. And I was like trying to, and this is really bad of me, but I was trying to make the narrative into a ghost.
Oh.
You know, and it was just on pure fear that people are not going to believe what I'm sort of getting through that box, even though I've got control over it.
Andy, there are far wackier theories that people believe in out there.
I know, but you know, I've come from a growing team to, you know, starting my own thing, and I was like, and what the hell's happening here? And it took me a while to swallow it. You know, it come to just purely researching. You see, I have got absolutely no religious belief at all. You know, and like I always explain, what we've done is we've got us word of mouth from the Fae themselves. So I'll do what is instructed, because one of the like foundations to connecting with Fae is to do as you're told. You know, and that sounds bad, but if you place 100% trust in what they're saying, they will open up more gateways for you.
Do you think they've been more forward in coming to you because they know what you do? In regards to YouTube and stuff and getting the word out there, do you think they've known in advance that this is what was going to happen?
I 100% believe that holds us back. I think it's complete opposite.
Do you think?
Yeah.
No, I'm kind of with Brett here, thinking on that parallel. But I mean, we don't have your experience, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm kind of with Brett, thinking that maybe they approached you because you'd had responses that were making you think that.
Yeah. No. We've always said you know, I like the only reason I keep with YouTube is to be creative with my videos. I love video editing. You know, if I could have gone into a career move younger, I'd have gone into media and video editing and, you know, putting soundtrack to film. That's what I enjoy doing. So I get to do a little bit of that with this. I do like trying to spread the message and gain some belief personally. But to actually interact with the Fae, to cut cameras out, would be 100 times more active.
Right, okay.
We have so much more personal experience that is far, far more phenomenal than what we get when we record. And it's been a...
But can't you say that's the same with the paranormal in general? Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. It's a big thing, you know. It definitely does, and it's been a thorn in my side since it started getting more predominant in our lives. And this is why I've always had that love-hate channel love-hate relationship with channel, and I've wanted to stop. You know, I've wanted to quit it and let's just go private and just. But at the same time, you know, it's a shame to have come so far and got a bit of a message out there. So it's awkward.
No, I totally agree with you. I literally totally agree with you.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've learned so much from you over the last like 12 months or so. And I mean, I've literally learned. I mean, I was one of those obnoxious people on your channel who kept asking questions before we actually got to know each other. But the questions that I'm interested in, you know, at the end of the day. But we've spoke privately and we've spoke often, you know, about things. And you know full well I was not a fast and fair believer in the Fae.
Yeah.
There you go.
And you know that, and I never hid it from you. Do you know what I mean? I never hid this fact from you, and you know this.
Oh yeah.
You know, I was always very honest with my beliefs at the time. But Brett asked me the other day, what did you ask me the other day, Brett? Can you remember what you asked me in chat in a message the other day? What did you ask me?
Oh, God knows. I've asked you tons of stuff.
He slept since then. He asked me, do you actually believe in the Fae now?
Oh, yes. Yes, I did, yes.
And what did I say?
No.
You like it? What to say?
I
Yes,
believe
she said
that.
she
I
does.
believe
Yes.
that.
I said yes.
Yes, she did say yes.
I said yes. I mean, I went on obviously because it's me to explain in detail, but I actually did say yes, and that's a year, Andy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's a year in the making that yes came from.
Well-
That wasn't something easy for me to turn around and say,
Yeah.
but the experiences that I've had in my own home
Yeah.
led me to say yes.
Well, that's good enough for me.
So, and you know, I've always been on the fence and reverted back to my childhood from things we've spoken about in my childhood and things like that.
Yeah.
But I literally do believe that yes, they are a thing, and there is something there that needs to be investigated for my part, because that's kind of me, you know, and talked about, and you know, I will invest with my spirit box, and you know for a fact I've had a few things come through lately that haven't been human spirit based, shall we say?
Yeah.
And I will do an investigation on that. The thing is, don't put it public. You see, this is the other side of it. I do a lot of sessions that I actually don't put public because they get very personal, and I don't put them public. So I mean, I don't mind all the swearing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I've had things come through surrounding the situation that I'm going through at the minute, and I haven't put them public. And I've had them tell me very naughty, dirty things that I haven't put public. So you know, it's kind of one of those things. Do I want to do this for myself, or do I want to do it for my channel?
Yeah.
I kind of want to do it for my channel, you know.
Right,
Yeah.
Joanne's saying, I honestly don't know what Dryads are. They are tree spirits, Joanne.
Yeah. we've spoken about a lot since Century One. But yeah, I kind of do want to do this, Andy, for me, not for my channel, because it's not. I'm not advertised as like a FAE't channel or anything like that.
But you advertise as a paranormal channel. Does it not fit in?
Yeah, but I'm more interested in it. I know it sounds silly, and I do keep a lot back, but I'm actually more interested in it on a human level. From, you know, is this something else? You know, and maybe I want to find my own way privately before I come out and do it publicly. Do you understand what I mean?
Max, you'll get ridiculed. Trust me, we did.
I don't care. Do you know what I mean?
Don't.
If
Don't worry
if
about
I
it.
cared, Andy, we wouldn't be doing this tonight, believe me.
Nah, I couldn't give a flying feck. You either believe or you don't believe. I mean, believe. Anybody in this chat right now, believe me when I say, and Andy will guarantee you this, and Brett, a year, I've been doing this, and I've been looking into things, and I've been researching, and I've been reading. I'm not one of those people who turns around and goes, it's a demon. Bollocks. Right? what I'm actually interested in is the truth. So whatever I come across, it will always be the truth. I don't alter my audio. I don't do nothing with that when I put my spirit box sessions up. I literally present what I hear.
And she still don't believe in alien abduction and orbs.
No, because it's full of bollocks.
Well, have I ever told you about my UFO experience, man?
No.
I believe in UFOs, Andy. I don't believe in abduction. There's a difference. I believe in UFOs.
Actually,
I don't
Andy,
believe in abduction.
she needs to refine that because she doesn't believe in alien abduction.
I don't believe in alien abduction.
She thinks dimensional abduction is possible.
Oh, okay.
I believe UFOs are a thing.
Mm. So what do you think's piloting them?
I don't believe anything's piloting them. I believe that it is a natural phenomenon to this earth that hasn't been explained yet.
What, a metallic object with lights on? Oof.
Can I just say, who knows? Right? We do not know. We do not know. We do not know. We're assuming by the physics that we actually have at
Bogglers
hand.
our nose.
We're assuming by the physics that we have at hand now that any light refraction or any illumination is what actually is. That doesn't make. That isn't everything. I mean, look at string theory. Literally, what we're seeing does not mean that is all we can see. Yeah? So, I mean, I know I'm looking at it from a fucking scientific point of view with quantum physics and everything, but it literally doesn't take away from what I'm saying.
Actually,
that's all we know.
Becky's just brought up a good point there. I think Mags is an alien and she's saying she don't believe in him to throw everyone off.
What did she say? I think Max is an alien. She say don't believe me and throw everybody off.
She's pulling a David Icke on us all, isn't she?
Yeah.
That's what she's doing.
Oh Jesus,
Right,
David
so
Icke.
talking
Rob,
about David Icke, what are your
do you like
opinions on
David
lizards?
Icke, mate?
Oh, I think it's crazy and shouting in the mirror.
Yeah.
You went, yeah.
So what do you believe on David Icke's theory that the royal family are shapeshifters? Do you think that's one
No,
That's one claim too far?
If you want to get it right, the reptilians.
Yeah, but the reptilian shapeshifters, ain't they? They can shift into human form.
Yeah.
Do you think that's one claim too far?
No, it went too far long before that. I just think it's another on his shit list.
I believe he's onto something with bloodlines and everything, because that's been proven, hasn't it? You know,
definitely.
Well, we wouldn't have the term blue bloods if that weren't like kind of the fact, but he's only literally echoing the fact that we've had the term blue bloods. That is, the bloodline thing is literally a different take on the term blue bloods, which is what we've already had in history from now until then.
Claire says she's a shapeshifter. She was a size 6, now a 12. Lol. Yeah, I think.
Right, everybody, Rob wants to come to bed, so I'm going to have to shoot off.
Okie dokie, no problem.
I will be in chat, but
no problem.
I can't be on the line.
To be honest with you, I ain't keeping it live much longer anyway, because I've got to be up early, because I'm going to Andy's room workshop tomorrow. So I've got to be up like 6 o'clock in the morning to get ready and then get out and get over there, because I ain't got a clue.
He's going to put his makeup on and everything.
I ain't got a clue where I'm going.
Hell in a handbasket would be my answer, but I mean, I'm not saying that's where you're going.
If anybody is close to the Sheffield, Rotherham, Barnsley area, Andy's actually running a workshop tomorrow. If you want to go and look on his site, and
I'm not actually running it. It's the pagan meetup lady in Barnsley.
How much is it? How much have I got to bring?
What do you mean?
Money wise?
No, it's
nothing.
all free. Yeah, it's all free.
I'll come in. I'm going now. Right, I'm going to go because the light is hanging around the outside of the door. Right.
No problem.
I'm going to go. I will be in chat.
Okay,
Love you lots like jelly tots and all that crap.
See you later, Mads.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. I've got to go on public transport, Joanne, so it's going to be fun.
Yeah, but literally, Brett, venue was just right corner from my house, so
cool.
It's yeah. Once you get off on that street, which is 2 streets away from me, if depending on what time you arrive, just drop me a message and I'll come and meet you at bus stop.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, cool.
But I don't know if Jace is coming yet, because he's got to look after his dad, so he's ivering and hovering on whether he can get back or not. But I'm coming.
It's quite welcome if he wants to come along.
I want to know why aliens always land in USA in the movies, because that's the Americans for you.
Yeah, because United States in films is the centre of the world.
Yeah.
Save America, save the world, isn't it? It's brilliant.
Believe it or not, there have been some phenomenal cases of alien visitation around around Wales, around
Oh yeah,
Newport and that area.
yeah.
That are actually a lot more dramatic than what they show in the US. A lot more.
Yeah. You see, I had an experience with something like that when I was younger. I was about 13. And it was sort of when, the computers first started taking off in people's homes, and rather than just businesses and that. And I've got this lad who I used to, hang about with when I was that
Yeah.
age. And I was telling him that we could break into government files and, just. I used to string him some rape shit.
Yeah,
he was real.
basically, as you
And
do.
as you do when you're kids, and he believed all a lot on it. And we used to print out documents, and I used to smudge bits and black bits out, and he was like, "Oh my, really global lad." And this one night, we were out, and his mum used to shout him in at 8 o'clock on the dot every single night. And I'd looked at my watch, and it was like 5 to 8, and I was like, "Oh, she'll not be long before she's shouting you in." And he was like, "Yeah, I know." We had like a patch of grass like across street that it was like a long driveway that went like around some bungalows.
Yeah.
And I was stood on there and I was having a look up and watching these stars, and I saw one that looked like it split from another one.
Yeah.
And he comes walking over and he goes, "What are you watching?" I says, "Them stars." Yeah, I says, "It looks like it's splitting." Anyways, he's watching up and he was like, "Oh yeah, I've just seen it." I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty strange." And as I turned like to look at him, just above his head, and it was like 3 houses up from mine,
Mhm.
there was this object coming down right slow, silent, and it was like flat on bottom and domed on top, with red lights chasing right bottom on it, but with like a right sharp flame at back, all red. And it was that classic. I grabbed his head and like turned his head to it, and his jaw dropped. Like proper staring, like what the,
Yeah.
what is that? And we've got these massive conifer trees in back garden, and as it were banking in, the conifer trees were bending to the side. Anyway, I like set off running up street because we got like a right back of our house, or like an hill that goes really high up. And I says to him, if we can get up there, we might get a better view on it.
Mhm.
But as we got to that street, we couldn't see it; it had gone. Anyway, I come bounding back down onto our street, and sure as shit, it was there again. Absolutely no sound. There was no sound from cars, nothing. Anyway, I says to him, I said, "I've got to get into the back garden. I need to see underneath on it." So I belts down back garden, up onto the wheelie bin, over at 6 foot fence, dropped down, looked up, and then all I can remember is like a pause, big flash of white light, and a streak where it had shot off into nothingness, but directly up. Anyway, I walked into the room, and we got an house where it had got a window at back at living room and a window at front. And I goes to my mum, I goes, "Have you just seen a big white flash of light?" And she was like, "No." And I was like, "Oh, all right." Walks out into the front garden, go to meet him, because he didn't jump over the fence, he backed out. And I goes to him, I says, what were all that about? Anyway, his mum started chatting. I looked at my watch, and it were 8 o'clock. Now, all this stuff had been going on for about a good 10-15 minutes. So we hadn't actually lost time. It was like time had frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, I know a woman, and I've known her 30 years now, and I won't actually give a name on here, but she's actually a very well documented case of alien abduction. She's claimed that she's been abducted since the age of about 5. She's claimed that they took a womb away. She's claimed they put a womb back. She's claimed all sorts of things. And personally, knowing her from a personal point of view, I don't believe a word of what she says.
Okay.
Me and my not my ex-wife, but Jay's mother, saw what we think was a UFO once, and it was basically it was like a what, like, can you remember when you burned magnesium? In school, it was a ball, and it was that bright, and it was hanging in the sky, and then it suddenly rocketed upwards and disappeared. And that was witnessed by hundreds of people in the area at the time. But I've always believed that was that was a UFO because it went up, not down. It didn't drop.
Yes.
It shot skywards and disappeared.
Yeah.
But Mags has got a very funny outlook on aliens and alien abduction because she doesn't believe for a second they're coming to abduct us, but she's quite prepared to believe that they're coming through dimensions to abduct us.
Right.
What was that?
It's so good.
Alright.
Sure.
So like when
I think Mags has wrecked all the sound coming back in. Mags has wrecked the sound coming back in, I think.
Yeah, I think Brett.
Okay, I'll come back in.
Hang on, Mags, I think you're all right now.
Can you hear me, Brett?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Alright, cool.
Is Mags still in? Because right at the very end, she went back to normal sound.
Oh, really? Alright.
Now it's come back in and ruined it again. Mags, it's you. What are you doing? No, it's wrecking the sound.
Yeah, we'll do.
I can hear you. I can hear you all right, Andy, but Mags is just...
Yeah, she says maybe you need to ring her to get her back in.
Oh, possibly, yeah. That's a good point. Right, has she come out?
Yeah, I think so.
Right, let's try and add her and see if that works out okay.
Hello.
Hello, Mags. Hang on a minute. I'm gonna have to try and. Mags is screwing up the. Try it now, Andy. Can you talk all right?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you because I've just muted Mags.
All right.
It's definitely Mags' audio. This...
I don't know what's happened.
I don't know. Mags, I'm going to have to remove you from the call because every time you come in, he's screwing up the sound. Right, are you alright, Andy? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, it's every time Mags comes in, it's just the sound goes crazy.
Oh, that's strange.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Mags.
Boot her off.
I've had to kick her out. I put sorry, Mags, you've been silenced. You'll have to type.
Yeah, but me and Becky have had some strange experiences in years after it, and I went for an MRI scan 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and you know, like tell you, have you got any metal in you and stuff? Oh, no. I once got some metal in my eye, and they're like, did that get removed? And I'm like, yeah. So I went in, laid in this bloody chamber because it was a full body one. And as they set it off, this something inside my hand started vibrating, right?
Yeah.
And my bloody skin, my skin lifted up because I could see it, and I had to press panic button, you know, to say like there's something in there.
Yeah.
And it leveled the back eye. It like corrected itself and just went back to normal, which I thought were really bloody strange.
See, well, this
Like-
woman now claims that she had an implant and that they took it out and it disintegrated when they removed it.
Right.
That is actually one of the claims that this
Yeah.
that this thing.
I mean, I've woken up with like 3 fingerprints on my chest, you know, like with long fingers, really red, sort of in marking. I mean, Becky's seen them. I once walked in, I saw it in the mirror when I got up, and I was like, "What the hell's that?" Walked in, I said, "Becky, look at this," and she was like, what is that?" And I was like, "I don't know." I mean, there were palm, thumb, and 3 fingers, all right long fingers printed
Oh my
onto
god!
my chest. Really strange stuff. Yeah. But if I do get all happening, and to wake up with a really bad backache, you know, like really harsh, like you can't move kind of thing. And I always joke with Becky, I goes, "Oh, they're here again, they've come back." You know. But you never know. You know,
Yeah.
I've always wanted regression to take me back to point to that freeze just before
Yeah,
it set off.
well, she's had regression, and it was that unlocked a lot of the early stories. But apparently, she claims some of the stories are highly believable. You know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
she is one of these people who craves and I mean majorly craves attention, and she has
Right.
got certain issues. But you know, and the other thing is she claims she's a you know, which discredits her, but she doesn't actually mention in UFO circles is she claims she's a superhuman from 2 billion years in the future. You know, so that don't
okay.
do her credibility any good.
No, definitely not.
You know,
Definitely
when
not.
you're making them sort of claims, you know, you don't do your credibility much good.
No.
But when I see you tomorrow, I'll fill you in on the full story because it's long and drawn out, and
All right, brilliant.
you'll be amazed at some of the
Yeah, I
things that
can't-
have gone on. Believe me,
Seriously, can't wait.
you'll be amazed at some of the things this woman has claimed.
Right.
Absolutely amazed, right down to needing to conceive in this certain area, and she caused a load of trouble to the point where they phoned the police to stop them doing it.
Really?
Yeah, I'll tell you all about it tomorrow. It's one hell of a long story. One hell of a long
Right.
story. But she actually claims that in 2 billion years, the human race has split into 3 separate races, and they're at war. And the middle race, who are treated as slaves by the main race, steal their spaceship they're building, and it ain't a spaceship; it's actually a time ship, and it bounced back to Atlantis and then to Egypt. Honestly, Andy, you will not believe what I've got to tell you tomorrow. Regards.
Wow.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yes, Lama Andy's already answered that question. There are certain people who do believe that incubus and succubus are part of the Fae.
Yeah, definitely. You'll find, though, that sex, and I'm not, you know, it's just one of the things that you find, is a big part of Fae realm. They do, because it's an energy release.
But it's one of the most powerful forms of magic in Wicca as well.
Exactly.
It's like
And-
you say. It's like the ultimate energy.
Yeah.
I was
I
going
mean-
to say discharge, but that was probably the wrong, the wrong
Yeah,
word to
yeah.
use.
Yeah, I mean, when I first ever sort of picked up on it, me, Becky, and Chloe were all sat in a circle in Munwell Woods with a little campfire.
Yeah.
And we were kind of, and Chloe were like, "Can we to all hold hands and try and connect his energy up and try and like feel energies that's coming to us?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll try. Oh, you know, let's do it." And we've got a box ticking over at the side of it, you know, a spirit box.
Yeah.
And I goes, "Is there else we can do to try and like open this perception a little bit more?" And first thing he said was, "All have sex." And I'm like, you little shitbags. You know what I mean?
Have you ever witnessed any of the spirit lights in Woonwell Woods? Because it's actually quite famous for them.
I've only ever been twice at night.
Yeah.
And all we really experienced, apart from getting some really good photographs of stuff up in trees, were a massive, heavy, thumping footsteps coming towards us.
Yeah.
And me and Becky have got them tactical torches, you know, where you can like extend beam really far and sharp.
Yeah.
There was a sweeping area with them, and it stopped. And I mean, it was that heavy that it was breaking large branches. You could hear them snapping under the feet. And it kind of started walking off pretty fast into thicket woodland, and there was no light.
But do you know? Do you know that's quite common for footsteps to be heard? Yeah, because I know another guy who does paranormal investigation. He is on YouTube, but he tends to do more while camping and stuff. But he's big into the paranormal side, and he's actually reported footsteps and stuff. But I've also heard other reports of it. See, when we did ours at night, we did most of ours round the pool and at the convicts tunnel. But we got some amazing spirit box responses there, because there's a very famous suicide occurred there.
Yeah. I never got to convict tunnel. We kind of like found because people make like dens, don't they, in Woonwell?
There is some really creepy constructions in Woonwell Woods.
Yeah, there is. We kind of got settled into one of them, just in middle, you know.
Yeah.
And so I did our investigation around that, but I did get an interesting reply when I asked what best time to come and do something in there.
Yeah.
And they replied Dogen, which is Scandinavian for dawn.
Who is it?
And I was like, that's interesting. Yeah. I was like, we should really try that one time.
Yeah.
You know, when
Woonwell
we should
Woods.
go at daybreak.
Woonwell Woods is really well known for the. I suppose that'd be will-o'-the-wisps.
Yeah.
Is what you'd describe them as. It's really well known for them. I've never witnessed them there, but apparently it's one of the most common occurrences in Woonwell Woods. Is these lights that appear.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's a stone throw away. I can see Edgeworth Woods because we're up on an hill.
Yeah.
And if you stand on top of the hill, you can see back edge of Woods from my house.
Yeah.
Like so.
You know, it's one of them places that, you know, and I've been to loads of places after dark, but it's one of them places that does tend to take on an entirely different feeling after dark.
It does. Compared
to other woods I've been in.
Yeah, one of my friends, Nick, he used to do campouts in the, you know, where they'd all have a beer and a campfire and that. And he swears that he could see the trees moving into different spots.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, he says, I swear. He says there were trees appearing where there weren't before and stuff like that. And he was like, it just sent him a bit mad. You know, he was like, I can't deal with this. Really cool.
Selena Slink says, Terry, I'm lost, never heard of anything on here, lol. You've never heard of the Fae?
Oh, it's an interesting subject.
A very interesting subject. But yeah, you get, you know, and you get them constructions dotted all over Woonwell, and some of them are quite eerie.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, they don't just the way, you know, they're almost Blair Witch.
Yes.
Type of thing.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Chris says that's creepy as hell. Andy, walking trees and Lord of the Rings, lol.
Old tree beard, just mulching through.
If ever you get the chance to come up to Yorkshire, anybody, and do any paranormal investigations, I highly recommend that you put Woonwell Woods on your list.
Definitely.
Because
that and Ferguland Tunnel. Oh, Ferguland Tunnel's amazing.
I've never been there.
Have you not? That's something that we'll have to do.
Yeah, I've never been there.
Yeah. When I get my car very soon, we'll come and pick you up one night and take you there. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, because that's the trouble that we've got at the moment, me and Jace, because I ain't working at the moment, can't afford a car, so we have to rely on public transport. So, you know,
Yeah,
even when
yeah.
we went to Wombwell Woods after dark, we had to be out of there for like 11 to get the last train back to Rotherham and
Right.
stuff. So, you know,
Yeah.
it had been dark. It went dark because we did it in the winter, the investigation, and it was dark for like 7 o'clock. And I've got to be honest, it's my favourite of all my investigations I've ever done. Wombwell Woods has always been my favourite. Always has been.
That's cool. Very cool.
You know, but it is a very eerie place, and with with the convicts tunnel, because the railway line's gone now, and that bridge is like there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's just got very many eerie elements to it, but
Yeah.
but Wombwell I know is one of the most famous things is the spirit lights in Wombwell Woods.
Right. Ooh, be something to catch on camera, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so we'll definitely have to do a late night in Wombwell Woods one of the nights, because
Oh, yeah, definitely.
it's actually well known for it, and the good thing about it is you don't get a lot of hassle in there and stuff.
Yeah,
I think a lot of the locals are quite frightened of the place. So
Yeah, they don't.
after dark, they tend to keep out of it.
Well, you know, like there's that road that runs through Edge on it.
Yeah,
I know. I mean, like, I know a lot of like Chloe. She was scared to death of driving that road at night.
Yeah.
She just didn't like.
yeah, because it
You know,
it cuts right through the middle, doesn't it, and round the edge. You
Yeah.
get round the edge and then through the
Yeah.
middle at one point.
Yeah, that's it. People just tend to stay away at night.
Yeah, but it's amazing how many of the locals because when we went, we were talking, you know, because the first time I
Yeah.
went, I weren't 100% sure where the best way to get into it, and you know, we stopped a couple of the locals and said, "How'd you get into the woods?" And it was getting dark, and they were going like, "You ain't going in there after dark, am you?" Like, you know, like it was something out of bloody Children of the Corn type of thing.
Yeah.
You know,
That's amazing.
the amount of people who said, "Don't go in there after dark." It's like, why? It's only a wood. But yeah,
Oh,
you know, I'm quite open-minded to most things paranormal, but you know, I ain't one of these people who just because somebody says it, I'm necessarily going to believe it.
Yeah.
You know, because you do tend to find a lot of people in the paranormal are just, and you know, I don't mean this disrespectful, but they're gullible. They're extremely
I
gullible.
agree.
You know, rather
Yeah.
than research and find things out, they just believe anything, absolutely anything.
Yeah. It is right that.
You know, and then you got the ones zoom at the other extreme, and they, you know, no matter what you say to them, they could have a full-blooded apparition appear in front of them, and that still make out it was, you know, it hadn't happened, and no way was there any proof to it whatsoever. It's one of them fields that we can't prove anything one way or the other. So you know,
No.
there's nobody can sit there and say the existence of the Fae is any more or less likely than the existence of ghosts.
Yeah, true.
Because there's no proof one way or the other. You can tell people what you've seen and what you've documented, but then it's up to them to decide whether they accept it or not.
Of course it is, yeah.
It's alright. I'm reading some of the bloody chat that's coming through.
Alright.
I'm letting Mags deal with most of the chatting now because she's advertising her channel and stuff. I'm looking forward to the next thing on Mags's other channel because it's all adult based, and she's been sending me some rather interesting pictures over the last few. Have you been getting them?
I've been going them as well.
See, he's going to take all the fun out of it for me now because I know where everything is.
Yeah, she needs to do some secret ones that she's not telling us about.
Yeah. And then I cheated and changed colours and things. Well, you know, I quite like that. I quite like that spoon. I think it's quite novel.
I found it.
Just don't let Claire get one because he'll end up with splinters.
No, that's it.
Right, well,
Claire's more interested. She's more interested in feathers anyway.
Yeah, I know. I've noticed he keeps asking you about the feathers. Her asked again tonight. I don't know if you saw it in chat. I put, where does Andy get all his feathers? I put, he strangles pheasants.
I go on fucking missions in Wombwell Woods.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is, you've only got to walk through the likes of Wombwell Woods, and there's feathers everywhere. You know, 9 times out of the 10, a fox has eaten
That's
some.
me that's been plucking.
Yeah, well, the foxes get birds and stuff in there, and then they leave all the feathers behind.
Yeah, they do.
Ideal for it.
Yeah.
But that was another thing I noticed about Woundwell was the amount of bones. Have you noticed the amount of bones lying around in there?
No, I didn't, because it was very thick autumn when we went.
Yeah,
And leaves were.
You have a look under the leaves. The amount of animal bones that are lying around in that woods is eerie.
Really?
Yeah, just dead fox remains, and I suppose there's weasels and all badgers, all sorts of stuff. I think we found about 4 different piles when we were in there.
Wow. I'm known for taking skulls if I find them.
Yeah, I like skulls. Clean them up. They're quite nice.
Yeah. I've got an half mummified fox skull that's half pure bone and half like skin mummification, still with whiskers and everything.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of them where they've actually used, because I've got a Dremel drill, an engraver. I use it for glass engraving. But I've seen them where they've actually carved skulls, so that they've carved straight through and made them like lattices and stuff. I've seen some beautiful skulls done like that.
All right.
I've seen them done in Celtic designs and all sorts. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds good.
Well, right, I am going to cut the stream now, Andy, because, like I say, I have got to get up early to get to yours tomorrow. So, thank you everybody for coming in. I'd like to thank you, Andy, for filling everybody in on the Fae. Because from what I've seen, from the comments, a lot of people, really don't know about a lot of it. So I hope it's been educational for everybody. So if you stop on after I close the stream, Andy, and then I'll just say a quick thank you before you go. So thank you everybody for coming in, and I will see you later.